My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
See, 6ANB774. This is the fake sun over me at the Ontario International Airport. It is 6:42 a.m. It's Saturday, June 11, 2022. And I captured video of the fake sun over me on the passenger side of the bus on Route 61, which is, and again, that's a grand departure from what the entity is doing with its fake sun, 8RCW005. As a matter of documentation, 453WP, 398TT, 34651D1, 7DGF 450, 8SNR 518, 8R, I can't really see the rest of them. And while I'm at the Ontario International Airport, this is the venue where the entity is literally shuffling planes from this venue over my head, following me as I move around, keeping them on the south side of my person. 29005K2. The Ontario International Airport is headquarters for that ongoing terrorism. 8UTR 822. And while I am here, the fake sun through the driver's side of the bus, through the window, as I show on video, is remaining over my head. And this is not any vantage point that would occur where, for example, I'm walking on Bonneview at the same time capturing 8DMZ237 and license directed light 8ETR245, monitoring with this demon that's operating the bus, who's on video, 8DWV164, 8HVR373. License 7YDT589, 8KGC695, MO1, I can't really see that one. 6STN, 6TSN409, excuse me. The entity is keeping the fake sign when I are headed toward Mercy House at 435 South Bonneview, and I show in video as I continue walking. 6VHP071, how the fake sun is not moving in any direction east on Hope Boulevard. It is advancing as I am moving away from Hope Boulevard, walking onto Bonneview from that bus stop where I began this video, also, perhaps a little less than 2 weeks ago, going to Mercy House, and I'm sitting in the laundry room and I'm showing you the entity keeping the fake sun over me en route to Mercy House, at Mercy House, inside of the laundry room at Mercy House. And the fake sun is moving in the direction south as I walk south. License 8ROW086. These are demons at the airport monitoring. JTS811. Flashing directed light as I've shown you, W177EO. This is terrorism at the airport. State facilitating venue. 5SPY035. 7ZDC682. Criminal monitoring at the airport. And they're also using airplanes engaging in stalking, following me around in the city of Ontario as I document from the Ontario International Airport. The fake sun over me at the Ontario International Airport. And that is an impossible current showing what is the pattern of conduct that is underway, because as I documented on many times, the entity's fake sun is over me at this venue where I'm here at 11 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the afternoon, coming from Pomona and or, for example, Chino, or from Fontana, back and forth. The fake sun is remaining over me at all times of the day. 8TTG578. And it is 6:45 in the morning where I captured a series of images of that fake sun through the driver's side of the window, which again is different. The entity is keeping the fake sun routinely over the passenger side of the bus. But nonetheless, license CQN 6138. These are demons to be prosecuted for what is group stalking. It is terrorism by a demon-possessed population, and they're engaging in sexual violence as they're touching you with directed light, stalking you with directed light, placing you under surveillance with the demon-possessed law enforcement agency. That is the Ontario Police. All of this is also captured in video, by the way, while I'm referencing what they're doing, which is harassing with directed light, because they know that I'm referencing it's the psychopath conduct. Stalking with helicopter while they know I'm pointing out the fact that I'm in Chino. Stalking with helicopter because I am preparing to upload my podcast, which I did last night. The entity engages in molestation, any sort of harassment, and doing so with directed light while the psychopath is stalking and molesting. All right, while I'm documenting, essentially. It is 6:46 a.m. License CQN 6138 is group stalking at Archibald and what is this street? Archibald and U.S.C. It is 6:46 a.m. L7LZ L278 8VKE 268. This is Archibald at Inland Empire Boulevard, where the fake sun is today, keeping in front of me, aimed precisely on me, on Route 61. 4W50335, group stalking at Mobile. Stalking with light in the path at that gas station. This is ongoing state surveillance. Engaging in what it's demonic activity, but they're engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, which is demonic activity. GTS 558 GENSERV. The display states employee 3545 is the one captured on video. This is a matter of what is ongoing documentation, whether indeed this Latino male is employee 3545. But this is what the display says. I captured him on video. He is a sex offender, a terrorist, a demon that's molesting and terrorizing, harassing with directed light while they're which is demonic activity, and monitoring with the Ontario Police, which is also captured in video. But this is also already established while the police departments are monitoring as I'm on public transportation from city to city. But the Ontario Police are fully established as stalking at all times. 8 TMW 655. AVB, I can't really see that. 8VB 8357, I believe. FOM 193, and it's 6:49 a.m. The entity is flashing directed light as though someone's using a camera. That's what this demonic light is reminiscent of. Right? This is and that's inexplicable. Like I'm looking at the fake sun that's again in alignment with my face, and you've got flashing light as though somebody's using a large camera, and then demons are just surrounding you, sitting on the bus like you see in video. 6ZJA011, 7FOM193 are part of that sex offense. They're group stalking at Haven and Euclid Avenue. Those are demons, and they'll be prosecuted for that. It is, by the way, 6:50 a.m. The Ontario Center the Ontario Airport Hotel. They're a part of that same sex offense. The fake sun remaining over me. City National Bank. This is all on Inland Empire Boulevard. La Quinta Inn. These commercial venues, they're monitoring. They're engaged in an ongoing sex offense. This is criminal monitoring that's underway with law enforcement. That's why the fake sun is over me today, headed toward on Inland Empire, which is never occurring when the entity is engaging and keeping the fake sun as I get up at 7:30 in the morning, where the fake sun is present. Aiming light underneath the section where I'm laying at the museum. 6ZJA011 is pacing. All right, La Quinta Inn, where they're at Inland Empire and Porsche, they're monitoring. They're sex offenders, are a bunch of demons engaging in this demonic activity. That's why the environment, the demonic environment, follows where I go. It's revealing everyone's condition, the state system that's in operation, where there is no exception. The fake sun is moving over La Quinta and moving over Kendrew, moving over City National Bank, over Denu, D-E-N-U, at the address 3595-4, over Martinez and Associates, MGR Empire Towers at 3633 Inland Empire Boulevard. Criminal monitoring, ongoing stalking by the state. And as I've already heavily documented, going to Fontana and back, the entity is engaging in this conduct in the morning, the same exact maintenance of a fake sun while I'm on the bus with directed light as I return in the evening, which is an impossible occurrence. It's also impossible while the entity does the same thing on routes going entirely different directions in different cities, such as 83, documenting 85, all right, 66, which runs from Fontana, Foothill, and the entity is engaging in the same conduct through the window of the bus, directed light onto the bus, molesting with directed light on the bus, and doing so with the minions that are maintaining presence in that environment. This is, again, the documentation of the people of the state. Omnitrends is the use of a company name engaging in what is criminal conduct. All right, and that is substantial grounds for removing that company from existence and civilly and criminally prosecuting. It is 6:52 a.m. Mathis Brothers, the fake sun remaining over me while crossing path. That's what Mathis Brothers is doing. Understand how you are group stalking in that specific environment. Passing Ferrari and Inland Empire Boulevard. I'm actually going to get off here.
61, Fontana.
Federal law requires masks on board.
Alrighty, this is bus number 2343, license 1545682. This is P.O.C. Getting off at Ferrari and Inland Empire Boulevard, and the fake sun remains stationary, not visible through the window of that bus. The fake sun remains right here at this intersection over me, where I got off at the bus in Ontario at this intersection. And this is, again, showing what is stalking with a fake sun, which is the demonic behavioral pattern by a people who are stalking together. That's what group stalking is. License plate, this is a demon crossing path. License XLMU71, that's Merchant's Fleet, molesting. That's a demon driving very fast in a commercial vehicle in order to touch with directed light, which appears in the shade. That's a company engaging in that terrorism and in that stalking. It is 6:54 a.m. TWD 354. And that's exactly what I captured in images, the fake sun right in alignment with me. The entity is moving a fake sun very rapidly while I'm on public transportation, which you see in images and in video. That fake sun is remaining stationary over me where I have gotten off the bus today at what is Ferrari and Inland Empire Boulevard, which is the center of the universe that I am as this demon-possessed entity is engaging in stalking me altogether. All right, group stalking. And that's what they're doing on the bus, flashing directed light. This is a scene of terrorism. It's a scene out of hell, but it's terrorism. It's that which the target individual is subject to. Again, you're understanding what the ordinary target individual is subject to, absent any documentation. Conduct that is unbelievable, and obviously, who are you going to report it to? A bunch of demons who seek to kidnap you and falsely claim you are hallucinating or are paranoid, claiming that people that you don't know are following you around, which they actually are. They're stalking, and they're also stalking and engaging in what is entirely inexplicable and highly demented conduct, such as molestation with directed light, which is vocabulary that the target individual, the ordinary target individual, is not going to have, in addition to what is no evidence of it. All right, and so very easily turns into what is the pattern of conduct: criminal defamation, in order to silence one that the entity is targeting. License 6 DLC 794. V 35992, 7 AAV 201, 6 YVP 578, 7 UBL 188. Seven RIB 440 97682 R1, 8 NLW 970, 7 MPM 572, 54940X1, 8 WFH 011, KONA 91, 8 KAH 981, 8 WMH, okay, hold on, 8 WMW 012, 8 AKG 629, license 7 LUA 699. These are the demons engaging in criminal surveillance while I'm being molested on public transportation. They're monitoring. I'm identifying more sex offenders, more to be prosecuted, specifically on my podcast by name, 8WHM 792, because my prosecution of the state of California is going to accomplish the same. I am publishing by my own means as I'm revealing the reality of the system and identifying those by name. 8HRG 973, engaging in criminal surveillance in the parking lot. Getting out of his car is crossing path. He's group stalking the entire time. And I'm showing you that fact of that while the fake sun is over me in the parking lot. This is directed light that's also in the parking lot. Alrighty, and these are demons that are pacing around. License 7 PWU 263. I already read that one. License plate 26595G3. 41944F1, 5UNL 778, 5CUS 197, 7MVT372, 16466T1, 8VSE 774, 7WPD 122. Six MQF 446 86299Z2. I think I read that last one already. Six PFP 843. It is 7 a.m. 5NL 7. Hold on. I think I read this one already, but I'm not sure. 5UNL 778. Yeah. 72211L3 and 16466T1. Yeah, that's correct. 7CHN 123, 7MTK 508, 7TLY 933, 6WZJ 758. And again, as I remain at on Inland Empire Boulevard, the fake sun that's over me here is not the natural environment. This is that ongoing pattern of conduct. As you can compare my placement, my location, first of all, remaining at the Ontario Museum, but as I specifically captured on video at 7:01 a.m. at Mercy House, the fake sun is directly over me at that property where the entity, the Ontario International Airport, are using airplanes hovering over me at that property. The fake sun is directly over me as well, and I'll capture images of where I'm at right now. Alrighty, this is the identification of the criminal setting where you're subject to surveillance. And the reason for an ongoing molestation with directed light is not only, again, this is demonic conduct, this is pure evil, okay, and very sick conduct. But aside from that, you're talking about what is serving criminal monitoring. And so while I'm on public transportation, the entity is for a very real ongoing criminal system, monitoring and group stalking. The entity is keeping the fake sun over me, and as I'm describing molestation, ongoing terrorism, flashing a directed light, these minions in relevant position who I've identified by license plate are monitoring. They're engaging in that. They are crossing path while the fake sun remains over me. Your group stalking where you work. The entity is following me with the whole environment. And this is an environment that you are clearly witnessing because this is not over the Mercy House. This is not creating any similarity whereby I'm at 435 South Bonneview and the fake sun is hovering over my head at that property and also hovering over me while I'm here at Mathis Brothers at Inland Empire Boulevard at the same time. Where by the way, the entity kept the fake sun over me inside of the laundry room at Mercy House. Let alone, again, yesterday at 7:29, 7:30 in the morning, and the day before that, I'm capturing what is very precise directed light underneath the shaded structure where I'm sleeping at the museum. And you also see the fake sun right there in perfect alignment with me where I'm getting up. Where I haven't gone on a bus and gone on Route 61 toward the city of Fontana, or going on Inland Empire Boulevard, where I have not gotten up and gone to Mercy House, but you have the maintenance of the fake sun in perfect alignment with me, absent any travel whatsoever. All right, license, I read all those already. Let me get this license, 81064B3. This is J.L. Chavez Trucking, California 0326130. Crossing path with directed light. And this is the system of group stalking. 6W32588, this is demonic pacing. They're doing so under a fake sun. And they're monitoring on behalf of the Ontario Police. Understand how the Ontario Police is pacing. Every single last demon represents that. And this is grounds of federal prison. This is the system. License 8XVM736. CarMax is across the street, they're monitoring. And these are demons that are pacing around in the parking lot. With its communication device, 6W32588. This is a fat pop belly minion, white, with communication device in operation, directed light on its face, and crossing path around me, driving in circles. They're not looking for parking spots. They're demons that are pacing. It is currently 7:04 a.m. This is P.O.C. Mathis Brothers at 4105 Inland Empire Boulevard. Their group stalking. This is terrorism and state surveillance. That's P.O.C. Revis Trucking, crossing path. And as you see that light source that's in alignment with me while I'm at this property, that's also capturing the demonic because the entity is moving that fake sun while I'm on Omnitrans, while I'm inside of any vehicle. Where I stop, that's where the fake sun stops, 7REL780. While it's remaining in alignment with me on San Bernardino Avenue at the Fontana Metrolink train station, that is not over Mathis Brothers, okay? That is the entity keeping the fake sun as I am present. Wherever it is that I am, wherever it is I go, and wherever it is that I remain. This is P.O.C. Criminal Monitoring. Mathis Brothers Furniture are monitoring American citizens, and they're doing so facilitating that with law enforcement, which is terrorism that this company is engaging in and facilitating. This is representing nothing other than what the people of the state in California are doing everywhere. It is 7:05 a.m. P.O.C. Alrighty, it is 6:35 a.m. I want you to see this is where I got off at 6:37 a.m. Ontario Montclair School District is molesting with light, as I documented, and I walked to the Mercy House, and the fake sun does not proceed in front of me in the direction east like it is now while I'm on the bus. And this bus driver, this is the Latino male I've documented before. The entity engaging in what is harassment while it knows that I'm documenting. And these are all minions, these are demons, and an ongoing molestation with directed light while they're monitoring with communication devices, group stalking, and sitting in what is directed light. The sun is not anywhere to be in a position over the museum at 7:30 as I captured in pictures and images, aiming light under the south side of that museum. It is also moving in the direction east to remain in front of me, aiming what is directed light onto the inside of the bus. These are the demons who are engaged in ongoing obsessive stalking and demonic activity. It's criminal monitoring as well. in that intersection where I captured video, this is the same intersection where I got off, and the fake sun is not moving in this direction because I began walking on Bonneview toward Mercy House, where the entities keeping the fake sun, as I document, at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I remain there after 10 o'clock, and the fake sun remains directly over my head, where the Ontario International Airport, are flying airplanes over my head while I'm in that laundry room. The fake sun's over my head through that window of the laundry room, aiming directed light inside of that laundry room. The fake sun is moving in the direction south as I walk on Bonneview at this time as I capture video after showing you the demons of the Ontario Montclair School District. These are the demons of Omnitrans. And I want to show you this. This is harassment that he's engaging in. He's molesting me with directed light while the door opens and closes. This is the demon operating a bus. This is criminal conduct. 5R61888 is monitoring with him. And you have what is the unnatural environment remaining in alignment with me. And you're also going to pay attention to the fake sun is now on the passenger side of the bus. The wealth of documentation, the entity keeps the fake sun on this side of the bus. All right, you're also going to pay attention to that. But this is the pattern keeping it in front of me, going in the direction east. All right, and it is currently, it's 6:37 a.m. now, which is the exact minute where I started this video. And this is the day where I went to Mercy House. This is stalking with the fake sun. This is the pattern of conduct. This is the P.O.C. And these are sex offenders getting on and off the bus and molesting me with directed light, which I've shown in video before. They're doing so while I'm documenting their criminal conduct. All right, so that's the ongoing harassment and intimidation by a bunch of demons who are hostile to your documentation. License 15366U1, that's a sex offender, that's a demon, that's a group stalker under the fake sun at 637. This is Vineyard and Hope Boulevard in Ontario, California. This is impossible. The sun is not over me on what would be Bonneview as I'm walking in the direction south. This is crossing path. This demon engages in stalking very often. This is P.O.C. (6:38 a.m.) All right, and this satanic system consists of just directed light moving across the cushions, all across the floor, while the entity keeps a fake sun over me, and the demon possessed engage in presence. They're monitoring. They're all group stalking, all of them. And while they cross path, the entity aims directed light, as I've shown you in video. This is a satanic system. If they're not natural born citizens, you deport those type of minions out of the country. They're engaging in group stalking, and that's Satan that knows that they're being documented. That's P.O.C. They obviously know because I'm the one that's subject to this targeting system, but I want to show you the pattern. The entity would keep the fakes on this side of the bus and turn, and then would be on this side of the bus as they turn on Vineyard. The entity's keeping the fakes on here, where the demons of the Ontario Police Department are group stalking. The same one stalking by helicopter with these minions, okay? This is demonic pacing. They're monitoring. And the fake sun is on this side of the bus, remaining on this side of the bus. This is different conduct. It's also not the sun, but I'm showing you what is P.O.C. 1878, license 1517881. Monitoring with minions surrounding me on the bus. This is P.O.C. License 7VPU724. That's a demon. Directed light moving across the curb on Inland Empire while that demon is crossing path in a vehicle. It's impossible light. It's not sunlight, especially when the entity's keeping the sun over the laundry room in Mercy House. It's not sunlight even if that was the sun hovering over Inland Empire Boulevard and you disregarded all my other evidence that's already published. That's a demon that's crossing path with directed light. Knows exactly who I am, is pacing all around me and stalking with light, which is what demons do. It is, and that's relevant for prosecution as terrorism, which is what the entity is going to be prosecuted for, in addition to being the perpetual sex offender, engaging in criminal monitoring, all very serious federal charges. And it is 7:07 a.m. 93925D3. That's a demon at Ferrari and Inland Empire Boulevard in Ontario, California. 7:08 a.m. Those are all demons that you're listening to. It's audible activity. They're monitoring everything they're doing, obviously, because there's directed light while they're doing it. But that you're witnessing what is it, a whole people that are engaging in ongoing demonic stalking conduct. It's very, very sick. Very, very sick. And it cannot hide. It's fully exposed when you're showing what's the environment that they're in. There's no question. First of all, it's revealing what you are not reasonably able to question either. And that is the fact that these are demons, revealing to you what is demonic and what is criminal. These demons are in this demonic environment engaging in criminal activity. That's what's highlighted when I'm showing you what is irreconcilable scientific impossibilities with regard to the environment and their conduct via directed light. AX 69D75, paper. (7WGH 463) SBFIT 8JFL 519 8TLS 204 8RTD 283 8SGX 240 7XYK 458 8ETZ 309 8HKL 599 05879S1 8WPX 197 8DDL 868 6NIY 856. A demon coming right behind me down this little quaint little back parking lot area, stalking. Obviously, the fake sun is here, but that's how much of a heavy-duty stalker the people are. The same stalkers that you see on video attacking me know exactly where I'm at. License 8LEJ986. This loser's driving a Range Rover. You know what that means? Absolutely nothing. Satan is a stalker, stalking me in a parking lot. Whatever it is you think about Range Rovers, it means absolutely nothing about Satan that's sitting inside of it stalking me, okay? Not having any life. 8RYS661, but I will prosecute. 7CKV793. This is criminal surveillance. Sitting in the parking lot, relevant position. Monitoring with the demon that drives behind me. Sitting in their vehicle. That's P.O.C. It is currently 7:11 a.m. Working in relevant position, working under the fake sun, working in directed light. Absolutely no legal argument. Your group stalking. That's why you're revealing that environment. This is Satan being surrounded with evidence. It is currently 7:11 a.m. These minions are a part of that same sex offense while I'm on Omnitrans and I'm subject to state surveillance on public transportation. I'm identifying more sex offenders. They're a part of that sex offense. They're monitoring me while I'm on the bus. That's what that ongoing sick conduct is serving. All I'm doing is documenting on my podcast because I'm going to publish today before I prosecute in federal court those who will all be identified by name. I'm publishing today on my podcast today. It is currently 7:12 a.m. That's criminal summoning that all those third parties, Mathis brothers, they're engaged in criminal summoning. There's additional grounds of federal prison, by the way. 7VAV326 arriving, sitting in the parking lot, crossing path while the entity sounds sirens. This is called impunity. That's why they go to federal prison. They don't get enough, they will get enough. Alrighty, good. I just want to show you what's the fake sun over me while this demon appears. 7VAV326, maintaining presence for crossing a path. The fake sun is over me and the entity has begun sounding sirens as they line my path, arriving to park in the parking lot, already engaged in surveillance, sitting in their vehicles, and they're still pacing on the streets and the highways. This is surrounding, this is group stalking. This is under a fake sun that's nowhere near the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. It's certainly nowhere near the laundry room of Mercy House. As I documented as I'm doing my laundry at Mercy House, that's where the entity kept the fake sun. That's relevant to what you hear in the background, the use of sirens, which is also communicating a threat by a bunch of demons. That's the state acting directly. And I'm taking pictures and reading license plates of the state acting vicariously. And while they engage in that conduct, that's a method of terrorism. The entity sounding sirens, stalking you everywhere with the people. That's called criminal summoning, grounds of federal prison. For the people that are cooperating with this corrupt entity that is stalking you. License 4VNP003. And again, Mathis brothers, every third party that I just documented, which they know that I documented them, this is Satan that's stalking while it's being prosecuted. They are engaging in criminal summoning, grounds of federal prison. All right, and let me be clear, Mathis brothers, the company, is engaging in terrorism and group stalking. Remember, you're not only, this is demonic activity. This is literally, when you're understanding what demon possession is, the use of a vessel to engage in wicked, all right, to put it loosely. This is analogous to that. This is criminal conduct. The entity is the use of vessels being any company, the vessel being any person, any location. And in that regard, based on what the entity is doing, you're going to prosecute. You have what are companies that are engaging in sexual violence. A demon driving a commercial vehicle, a demon inside of a public establishment, or excuse me, a business establishment, molesting you with directed light. That's exactly how you're going to prosecute because that's exactly what they're doing. And that company name is not going to be in any way sheltered from being subject to the same criminal prosecution. And also what is necessarily occurring, you're going to drain the pockets. You're civilly prosecuting as well. It is 7:15 a.m. 8TZN 891 6XSN 252 15744H3. The Arco at Inland Empire Boulevard and I believe that is Milliken. They're group stalking. They're doing that on surveillance cameras. That's a property and relevant position. They're engaged in state surveillance. They're engaged in criminal summoning, as you just heard as well. They're relevant position. 8BES 640. That's 8BES 640. 8DES 187. Prime Incorporated, that was group stalking under the fake sun as I got off the Omnitrans coming from Chino, California. Monitoring again under the fake sun. I read that license plate. I'll prosecute. It's the same company. Directed light while that demon drives this truck in this empty parking lot area, stalking me. This is terrorism. Prime Incorporated. License. Let's see. License plate on Prime Incorporated, Springfield, Missouri is the logo on there. 65KS2M, which is Missouri. Alrighty, again, that's 65KS2M, Prime Incorporated. This company is group stalking, driving that truck, which I captured in still images. You see the fake sun right there in my face. This is while I'm inside of the plaza. This demon driving that truck is crossing path and doing so with directed light that's moving across the asphalt. This is monitoring. And it's demonic activity, but this is the pattern of stalking with directed light while they are driving around me. And then I'm also showing you where I'm located. I'm showing you the fake sun that's over me. And the minions that you also see in traffic, they're at Arco in relevant position. They're in line in the parking lot. They're group stalking using their vehicles as ongoing. It's like a path of light. It's like a circuit of light. They're monitoring together. This is demonic conduct. It's not traffic. It's all serving state surveillance system. And there are a bunch of demons engaging in that conduct, which before now you have no idea when you're looking just at the surface and ignorant of what is the demonic substance of what and the criminal substance of what people are doing around you. And they're doing it to you. All right, while they're looking the opposite direction and you otherwise have no indication of the fact that you're a target. 8XRK328. You're talking about except with regard to what is harassment, with regard to what is a violation of your rights, which is kidnapping, etc. 8HDU209. But outside of, again, the entity showing those acts of hostility, just engaging in what is the state surveillance system in and of itself is that which generally does not show any symptoms of it. But demons are going to harass you. You're going to have symptoms. Demons are going to harass you. That's a symptom. That's a hallmark. Demons are going to engage in what is violating your rights, especially while they are facilitating the system, the corrupt law enforcement agencies. There's a pattern of that, which you'll witness. The entity engages in what is the ongoing hallmarks, which is in concert with this system, while you're also, again, ignorant of the environment that you're around, which is letting you know exactly what's going on. 7M and R562. Even if Satan was to play nice while it's targeting you, giving you no indication that you're subject to surveillance, all right? But that's not the case. Understand, Satan is inherently hostile to you. Your condition is one that is different. You're normal, all right? You don't serve Satan. You don't have Satan's spirit literally plaguing you. You're not sick with Satan, in other words. You're not handicapped with that disease of spirit. You have what is, in other words, you're different. And because of that difference, that's why you're a target. Group stalking is satanic conduct. The demon possessed are targeting other American citizens. Those American citizens that are subject to the system are those that are not of that condition. Okay, Satan is not targeting its own. Satan is targeting those that it cannot, in other words, penetrate. In other words, touch. All right, and I'm speaking to what is spiritually, not physically. You've seen a demon attack me on many occasions. All right, and they'll be sitting in federal prison. They're not getting out for that. But that is the entity that is engaging in that conduct. This is spiritual at its core, but this is criminal. This is the ability to prosecute Satan in federal court. 7ZYY336, 8KIL989, 8MWL287. 8NHR501, engaging in surveillance in this parking lot under the fake sun. EDNROL, P.O.C, a black-faced minion, engaged in black-on-black crime with the alleged enemy, law enforcement. They're demons monitoring together. And like I told you, we are not united by race. We are separated by condition. This is a minion of Satan. All right, engaging in criminal conduct moreover, and that's why I'm going to drag him in federal court. He's a violent sex offender engaging in what is criminal monitoring with a corrupt law enforcement agency. 6JQJ000, 6LVV621, 6LKW208, 7UMZ777, 7VOF264, 7GTD796, 6WFB833, 6BMP777, 6SCZ187, a lily white minion monitoring with that black face minion. They're not separated by race, they're united by their condition. They're demons that are targeting me together. Group stalking. It's Satan. Satan doesn't have a race, understand that. 5SLS526, 8NQW535, BV69X76 paper, 6WIG626, 8M65506, 8LZC342, 5JUH067, 8LWZ198, 6EIB193, and this is criminal surveillance. And I believe this license plate I read already, yes, 6SCZ187 is crossing path. This is the one that wants to touch right now. Let me show you this demon's, an operation of her communication device while she's molesting me with directed light. Alrighty, you can see this minion, this white-faced minion, sitting in her vehicle. She's a sex offender. She's engaging what is driving by in a parking lot and molesting me, the act of the demonic, molesting me with directed light while she's stalking. She's not driving and looking for a parking spot. She's under the fake sun, molesting with directed light. She is stalking. 8LZC342, and she's a stalker that also wants to touch on my body. All right, she's going to be prosecuted as a sex offending minion that she is. On behalf of the state, 6VFA066, 8TAJ088, and those are captured in images, by the way. It is 7:24 a.m. I think I read these already. So 8YNE012, M8, A8, H8, 8AGF610, 6EIB193, 8LWZ198, 5JUH067, yeah, I read that one. 8UKD815, 6URZ918, 8HIL782, 7KXG513, 5TDZ813, 7CTM864, and it's currently 7:24 a.m. And again, this blackface minion engaging in surveillance, sitting in the empty parking lot. By empty, meaning Staples is closed, Sam's Club is closed. There's nothing going on over here but group stalking. Just want to let you know that. What do they do during the day? And this is only when it's highlighted for you. But let me be clear, this is what they're doing even when these venues are open. These venues are monitoring when the businesses are open. This is maintenance of presence. That's why that blackface minion, EDNROL, is sitting in a parking lot where there's no businesses open, which is what the people of the state rely on. Oh, I'm not stalking you. I'm in my car. And the moment that you notice me, I'm going to get out of my car, which is crossing path, audible activity, and light activity creation using their vehicle. Crossing path under the fake sun and engineered light activity creation, entering inside of the venue where that venue is monitoring you as well. It is no legal form or excuse. They're all engaged in surveillance together. But nonetheless, this is clearly surveillance sitting in the vehicle where none of these businesses are open. I just want to point that out. 2KOH358. License 8PFA146, 8VZA826, 85875G3, 8AFB205, 7VVB813, 5CTV893, 8YGL567, 8TMK753, 6BZN267, 17367B3, MURT25, BW25, BW25885, paper, 5MRJ739, and 8M65506, and this sex offender, 6SCZ187, is doing the same. Sitting in the vehicle, engaged in surveillance. That's stalking in the path under a fake sun. That's what they're doing. It's criminal surveillance, and that's why the fake sun is here, by the way. Just pointing out the fact that they're engaging in what is sitting in relevant position. Whether their shift for their job has started yet, whether or not the venue is open for business yet. But I want to be clear, you don't have any legal argument. This is literally the reliance of people engaging in stalking, relying upon what they think that they're saying that they're doing is going to be some basis to avoid being prosecuted and identified by the psychopath that you are, engaging in what is demented criminal activity, for which I will engage in I'm going to create a word right here, a dragation of Satan in federal court. This is P.O.C, 7:27 a.m. Surveillance by BW25, B85, unlawful operation of the communication device. This demon, MURT25, with Marines on his license plate, engaged in criminal surveillance and is a demon. So let me show you the fake sun over him as well, because there is no exception. It is currently 7:28 a.m. These are demons lined up in relevant position where I'm at, walking around documenting. Sitting around engaging in surveillance in a parking lot. That's what they're doing. And this one with Marines on it, MURT25, this is a demon. Okay? This is the demon that's engaging in what is also criminal activity. 8AFB205, monitoring with the other minion with a paper license plate, covering up his face with his phone, which is unlawful operation of a communication device while he's monitoring. Stalkers want to be bashful. You want to engage in stalking, but you don't want to be documented. This is what is so delusional about Satan. Okay? It is that mind state, but you have to have one hell of a demented mind to engage in group stalking. That's what Satan seeks to conceal against the people. They want to be normal so bad they're not. I'm showing you every way that they're freaks of nature, closeted psychopaths that surround, and this is amongst the population. These are ticking time bombs. I'm revealing to you what is a matter of public corruption in plain sight, what is a matter of a threat to the public, which is also being facilitated. It's underway by a government. This is something that is a matter of ticking time bombs, while this system serving the purposes of Satan is ongoing, and you're not even aware of it. So it's pretty much sounding the alarm while you are, before it is too late, okay? That's essentially what because Satan's playing nice, right? Stalking and monitoring you, and playing nice is loosely put. But playing nice, in other words, this feigning normalcy amongst the society, that's a method of playing nice. There will be a time where the government, this is satanic, where Satan is not going to play nice, if you will. All right, that's what this is revealing beforehand. That's why this is being revealed for such a time as this. 8AFB205 is engaging in surveillance with that minion, MURT25, of the Marines. All right, nothing honorable about that, and there's nothing new about that. I've documented plenty of the demon possessed, of law enforcement, of the military services, of the federal government. This is speaking to what is no exception, what is no respecter of any person, revealing the minions that are Satan. Satan has many that are in the military. They were engaged in criminal monitoring yesterday under the fake sun, where I remain, by the way, at Ontario Town Square. All right, there is no sun that would be over my head in this parking lot where MURT25, a demon-possessed former Marines, is group stalking. 8NMH491, surveillance with a Marine, engaged in criminal conduct. That's what the Marines are engaged in. There's nothing honorable about that demon. All right, so you're getting past the superficial. Because let me tell you something, Satan is relying upon that title, that label right there, as some exception, which is legally irrelevant. Satan's going to be prosecuted. Everything that Satan relies on, oh, I'm a Marine Corps, and you serve Satan. 7SNZ755, criminal conduct. You're going to be prosecuted, treated under that federal law, existing federal law and federal law to be established to deal with Satan. 6KMJ210. 9A9V939, I believe. 9APV939. 7CLR794. 8NMH491, engaging in, again, surveillance. Group stalking, criminal conduct, demonic activity with that demon that is of the Marines. There's no difference. It's the same thing I'm showing you, the demons of the Ontario Police. That egregious and highly demented stalking activity in helicopters by the Ontario Police, that's what that demon affiliated with the Marines is engaging in, participating in. The same exact condition. That's how disgusting they are. There's nothing honorable about that. And everything that they claim that they did for this country, guess what? It's a fallacy what's going on in this country. This fallacy of constitutional freedoms. AWLF 539, 7YRH 145, 8SQR 141, 8JVA 535. Windshield repair, they're engaged in criminal monitoring, demonic activity with the Marines. 8MEF 973. It is 7:32 a.m. I want to show you what is the entity's light source that is directly over me at 7:33 in the morning. This is Sam's Club at 971 Inland Empire Boulevard, and I am present, as I documented in 2021. This is Staples over here. This is Sam's Club, and I'm documenting where I am here hours from now. This is 7:37 7:33 a.m. the fake sun is remaining over me. This is capturing the demonic, not only because I'm nowhere near the Ontario Town Square, not only because this is nowhere near the museum where the entity's keeping the fake sun over my head, as I took pictures of yesterday at 7:30. That's a demon that's molesting 7N68640. That's exactly why they're being prosecuted right now, and that's a blackface minion, group stalking with the police. No Black Lives Matter issues here in California. It's demonic activity, criminal monitoring. And at Sam's Club, this is where I'm standing at Staples, and the fake sun is directly over the top of my head as I documented video here already. And this is speaking to what is an impossibility while the sun would not be present over the same exact parking lot. 6KPT876 is a demon. Where I documented the Marines, a demon with the Marines license plate on his vehicle stalking me. Satan, using those that are in the military. No honor, no exception. Criminal conduct that the Marines are facilitating them, but this is the population of a demon-possessed entity. The sun is not over the Ontario Town Square. It's not over the museum. It is not occurring while I'm in Ontario at Sam's Club at 971, and this is also speaking to documentation that is already published where the entity is keeping the fake sun over the same exact parking lot hours from now. It's over the top of my head. Okay, this is P.O.C. This is entirely demonic. This is referencing what is at the state system, and this is the presence of the Ontario Police Department. This is how they are maintaining presence, engaging in state surveillance. The people of the state are group stalking with you. Group stalking is a criminal monitoring system. Every single last one, crossing path with directed light, sex offenders. While I'm on Omnitrans and driving by, they're engaging in crossing a path while the entity follows me with an environment. While I am on Omnitrans and the bus goes to Fontana Metrolink train station, it's not remaining stationary over here. It's remaining in perfect alignment with me while I got off of the bus, which is speaking to that ongoing pattern of conduct. This is not over the museum. This is not capable of being seen any position near the museum where I get up, where the entity kept the fake sun, nor the Ontario Town Square, okay? It is currently 7:35 a.m. This is demonic activity, and these are the demons that I'm going to prosecute, and I'm going to identify them, okay? This is P.O.C. Okay, license plate 7XAY943. You see those demons on video. 6TJG652. They are group stalking at the Sam's Club. That's exactly what that is under the fake sun. This is the use of a business, a company name to engage in state surveillance, by the way, as well. That's what you're referencing. That's what you're witnessing. The prosecution of the people of the state using any using any business establishment, using any means in order to engage in what is presence, which is criminal. There is no exception. Any personal or, any private or public property, which these are terms, labels that don't exist. The entity is engaging in fictitious exercise of authority while it's engaging in surveillance, the fictitious exercise of rights, which you are not in any way in operation of. You're in the shoes of the government, group stalking on behalf of the state in that specific environment, and also demonstrating that as fact while they are engaging in conduct such as stalking with directed light, demon possession in this demonic system, which is serving criminal monitoring. And I captured video at Sam's Club in Ontario inside of this plaza where I also pointed out in video that I was here hours later as I documented this venue last year. 4T LA 444, no time of year ever would the sun be present at this address. And not only that, it's early in the morning right now. This is in the middle of the day. The fake sun's directly over my head at the same Staples/Sam's Club parking lot area where they're monitoring right now. 7JBK221, 6DKM086, 8ZXU166, 4ZPV554, 8PNT955, 8SAX530, 01972G3, 6ZUE315. And you can see the fake sun directly over me while I am at Sam's Club yesterday at 7:30, 7:29 a.m. approximately. I remain at the museum where I got up, and the fake sun is over the side of the museum. I walked toward where the water fountain is, where I was last night capturing video of the Ontario Police stalking in helicopter. On that side, which is again I'm not on the inside near the courtyard area. I'm staying on the outside where there's like a dusty path, and I'm sitting on a bench. You see the fake moon over my head. That's where the fake sun was in the morning, and that's at the museum. That's where I'm located here, where I got off the bus. The entity's keeping the fake sun over me, and doing so at Sam's Club in Ontario. This same Sam's Club area, this plaza, this parking lot is where I stood as I documented the Ontario Mills area very heavily last year, and the entity kept the fake sun over me, and I documented that on video. And you're looking at what would never occur at any time of year, which is the presence of the sun over my head in the same fashion as I'm capturing at 7:35 in the morning. And you're talking about hours from now where the entity has engaged in a pattern of keeping the fake sun over me in Fontana, all right, at the Upland Public Library, at the Ovid Family Community Library all day long, at the Ontario Town Square when I don't go anywhere, when I just stay there all day long, when I'm remaining in the vehicle outside of 630 North Fern, when I'm remaining in Montclair, and the entity is engaging, as I've already documented, keeping its fake sun, which is a matter, there is no time where the sun would be over this parking lot, as I document on video, when it's remaining over the Upland Public Library for the duration of the day. That's capturing the pattern of conduct, which is, again, this is already published documentation. What am I doing? I'm reminding you about what I've already shown. 1ERRN, 7GTH 357, 7ZOL 241, 9AGC 007, 7ZAR 158, 8SYS 131, and they're all group stalking at Sam's Club. Very easy to identify, very easy to catch that federal case, because that's how easy it is to engage in group stalking. And you're flipping that system on its head. That's how easily you'll wind up in federal prison as well. 8VVX 136, group stalking while pumping gas. You can do whatever you want while pumping gas. Go ahead, do whatever you want, because you're going to be documented, you're going to federal prison. You don't have any legal excuse. It's actually irrelevant, with the exception of any sort of harassment or threats that they're engaging in, but it's irrelevant, the activity that you're engaging in. You're talking about where you're doing it, it's a facilitating venue. What you're doing is likely activity creation. Indirect light under the fake sun. P.O.C. 7VY8675. 7HTN 147. KSELNAN 005ZH handicap. 7ZOL 241, just want to make sure I get these. 8PNW 612. Alrighty, and this is the location where I captured on video. The fake sun's right over my head while a bunch of demons are lined up to pump gas. This is actually relevant positioning, both while I'm on the bus and then while I get off the bus. And how are you looking at that? It's based on the environment, which is it's impossible that this is the natural environment. It's serving for the ongoing system that you remain subject to. Also, while they're stalking with directed light. That's a big hint. D333H1, where the police are stalking day and night by helicopter, you are stalking. This is how I mean the disservice that the entity, you're talking about what is, the Ontario Police has conceded loss. But what you're doing is you have conceded loss on behalf of the whole entity. Okay? You're stalking day and night while the rest of the state is doing the same thing. All right, that's exactly what that's evidence. It's actually, you're going to prosecute its evidence against the entity, but it's also 951 CL9. It's also what the rest of the entity is doing, stalking. That's why the Ontario Police Department is doing that, because this is a state system that I've been documenting for years. 7XLH941, and that concession, which is documented in video after video after video, the Ontario Police stalking by helicopter, that's evidence against 3FKS758, 7GJG082, and that's what they're doing, group stalking right now. 5YEE923, a black-faced minion. Black on black crime, monitoring with the alleged oppressor, the Ontario Police Department. 8NLH817, those are demons monitoring together. 8ZIG906, this is demonic pacing, directed light across the dumpster while you want to go pay for gas. This is a demon in operation of their communication device. This is a psychopath. License TINK314, TIMMRS, monitoring with the Marines, a demon sitting in a parking lot stalking me. All right, engaging in what is entirely demonic, terrorism, group stalking, shameful conduct, forever linked to the Marines. 6Y02904, engaging in criminal conduct with those identifying themselves with the Marines. Directed light, you know what that is? The conduct of demons. That's what the Marines are engaged in. And that's a matter of documentation. Wendy's is over here group stalking, standing outside, taking your break, monitoring on your communication device. While these demons are surrounding me with directed light, that's exactly what they're doing while I'm on the bus. Molesting with directed light is facilitation. The rest of the demons surrounding are engaged in criminal monitoring while you're subject to that. License plate 8XPR405. And license 6XIE305. It is 7:43 a.m. License plate, stalking with this minion that's pacing. License 6B29519. 8LVN099. Performance food service. They're loitering in relevant position. This is criminal surveillance. The state's use of a commercial actor. License 8XXK604. And the license plate of Performance Food Service is done. Performance Food Service license plate 1475STP. It is 7:44 a.m. Ready, engaging in surveillance. Sitting in their parking lot. This is the demon that I referenced moments ago, pacing, and another third-party cross path. This demon is engaging in surveillance and waits until the moment. This is the demon that knows where I'm at. So the moment that I walk past, this is where he's closing his car door, audible activity, walking into what is hot mini workshop, a third-party facilitating venue where the fake sun is present and where there is no legal argument. 7 KTC 144, an Asian male entering inside of that venue, using his vehicle as a method of stalking with light activity. All the conduct of a demon. All right, it is criminal monitoring that third party is engaging in. It's 7:45 a.m. License 7FFH619. I believe that is correct. 7FFH619. 8XEZ574. $5WQJ079. 7YBT494. Showing you what is the fake sun over me. 7:46 a.m. This is ARCO, AM, PM. Clearly captured. And while I'm facing the direction which is facing the Milliken, the 10 freeway is to my right. And I'm showing you what is the Staples and the Sam's Club, which is in front of me as well. In other words, I'm showing you what is also surrounding me, where you see the fake sun directly in front of me while I'm standing on the property of ARCO at 7:46 a.m. ARCO is a sex offender molesting me with directed light. This is not the sun, nor would that be sunlight. This is the pattern. All right, this is P.O.C. And I read the license plate of the third parties engaging in that sex offense. Hi, Connie. Hi, Connie. Connie is monitoring inside of this ARCO. License 7KNU686, 8XEZ574, 7XQA242, 7ZPN517. I think I read that one already. Directed light across the building while this demon is crossing path. All these license plates that I just read are monitoring. 7UHC819 is that demon that's crossing path. 5ANV881, 5WQJ079, another demon repeating the same exact conduct. License plate 8WPE594. And this is the ARCO that I took a picture of. This is where the fake sun is over me. It is 7:54 a.m. where the fake sun is over me at Milliken and Inland Empire Boulevard. An impossible occurrence. The sun is not over my head at the 7-Eleven in Upland, California, as I captured at 7:44 in the morning. This is a third-party group stalking, trying to cover up their license plate, 8SDY. I'll get the rest of it. This is pathetic. They want to be stalkers, but then they don't want to be documented. It is very, very sad. This is a Caucasian male. We'll just wait for this demon. The time ticks and ticks and ticks. While I'm on Route 83, time is ticking and speaking to that ongoing inevitable federal prosecution. He's also on surveillance cameras, monitoring with the rest of these demons that are patrolling around. A violent sex offender that is engaging in molesting me while I'm walking inside of an ARCO. Can't escape sexual violence by a bunch of demons who are pursuing you. And while this pathetic actor is covering up their license plate, when all the world's going to know not only his condition, his name, his image, and his criminal activity. Despicable in every regard. Sorry if you hear, I'm trying not to drop my phone. While I'm letting Satan listen to me describe him, because this is exactly what he is and what he's doing. And it's pathetic. You want to engage in criminal conduct, then you want to hide. It's 7:55 a.m. Remember yesterday I got up at the museum, I got on Route 83, where the employee 3072 was sexually violating me. And I get off the bus, and the fake sun's over the 7-Eleven in Upland, California, 7:44 a.m., remember that? Yeah, I have been in Memphis Brothers, the entity keeping the fake sun over me as I'm capturing. This is P.O.C. All right, this third party is 8SDY976. This is criminal surveillance. Standing outside, what are you doing?
Why are you reading my life?
Because I can. Is it private? It's on the outside of your car. No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
I'd appreciate if you don't write.
I'd appreciate Satan if you weren't a stalker. 7KNU686 is harassing with him. This is a psychopath. You're a psychopath. If you really think, Satan, you're going to be a stalker and you're going to hide your... First of all, let me give you a hint. That's not public information. And third of all, you're out here being a stalker. You think nobody knows? Who are you talking to? Go find a life, Satan. Go find a life. That is P.O.C. I'm getting help. That's called criminal defamation. You're going to sit your pathetic ass in federal prison for that. 8SDY976 while this demon is under the fake sun because he's scared, because he's engaged in criminal conduct. Try not being a stalker and you wouldn't have to worry about that. Talking about private information, it ain't private. You're a stalker, second of all, and that's on the outside of your car, you idiot. You're an ass, you are an idiot and a stalker, Satan. While you're standing in directed light, stalking somebody, you mess with the wrong one. You're pathetic. Find a life. License plate 7ZPN517, monitoring. This is under the fake sun. That's all audible activity. And that's nothing other than what is a minion that is scared. Directed light surrounding. License plate 5TMR994. Excuse me, what are you doing? What are you doing? Group stalking is what you're doing. 8XEZ574. That's the entity that is scared to death. Everything that you're doing is exposed. I'm going to read your license plate. That's also not private information, by the way. It's on the outside of your car, in case you didn't notice that. In addition, you don't have any privacy when you're present on behalf of the state. Fake sun, directed light, all of the above. And you're a stalker. You are entirely a stalker. 8RAM873. This is 7:57 a.m. That's criminal defamation. He's going to sit even longer in federal prison for that. This is pathetic. Pathetic. Keep talking, Satan. Go ahead. That's criminal summoning. You're going to call the cops?
Yes.
Unlawful operation of his communication device. Indirected light. Fake sun is over his car. This is Arco. Go ahead. Go ahead. What else? This is criminal defamation and criminal summoning. With the Ontario police who are stalking by helicopter. Good luck with that. They're heavily documented. Go ahead. Keep talking. Pacing 8BDD967. Monitoring with him. Directed light. These are demons monitoring with him. This is P.O.C. 6MYN972, 5MNK171. They're harassing together while he's referencing, I'm going to call the cops. The cops that are stalking by helicopter. That's what he's referencing right now. That's why you're sitting in federal prison. And this is a psychopath. Everything that he is stating. All right? But you're still stalking. You're still sitting here. You're still sitting here. But you're still sitting here. You're still sitting here. So who's following who? Who's following who? You're still, but you came over here following me. Okay, good luck. Okay, good luck. No. You're sitting here following me right now. So you can record how you're following me. Go ahead and record that. You're holding up your phone. You can't even spell psychopath. You are actually engaged in what is the conduct of a psychopath. You are woefully unprepared. This is P.O.C. This is P.O.C. He's sitting here pursuing, while he's holding up his phone talking about, I'm going to follow you. 8SDY976, federal prison. Monitoring with another minion. This is the Latino mother monitoring together. All those license plates that I read, they're pacing. And he is referencing, I'm going to call the cops that are stalking by helicopter. That's what he's referencing. This is how you surround an entity with documentation. You don't have an argument. What they are doing is called ongoing harassment. He's going to federal prison for criminal defamation. He is still monitoring right now while he's harassing, while he's holding up his phone. It's unlawful operation of a communication device under the fake sun. And this is nothing other than what is Satan that is scared to death while I'm documenting it. Okay, the fake sun is not over the Ontario Town Square. It's not over the bus, Route 83, while I'm coming from Upland. It's right here over me at Arco. Arco's engaging in harassment. Arco's engaging in what is a threat to engage in criminal summoning. Understand that's audible activity. That's serving to monitor you. You seek to try to engage in what is deterring an American citizen from documenting, while you are engaged in every bit of what is psychopath conduct, using a word that he can't even spell, while he is stalking me. Okay, license 8SDY976. That's the P.O.C. All right, it is currently, again, 8 a.m. BV76W21 reaching out toward me. That's Satan with directed light. While they're driving by, while I'm standing in the shade, that's Satan that stalks with light. All right, the objective is to surround and touch with light, and this is where they're supplementing that light where you're standing in the shade. And I've also documented the demonic conduct. I mean, very demonic. Where I'm under, for example, that large tree outside the chiropractor's office in Laurel. Satan literally removed the Satan from the shade from underneath that tree. I documented that. 7SMJ710. I literally documented that. So that is the ongoing objective. That is the pattern. And these demons engage in what is touching me while I'm in the shade with light. That's what that third party was doing. Anyway, I'm capturing what is, again, the entity that I'm documenting just engaged in what is criminal defamation. And then this is why you shouldn't, this is what I mean by what the Ontario Police Department is doing. Now, I'm not going to give any entity some tips on how to get away with public corruption for EPU 375, but like I said, if you want to have any stance, any chance of appearing as though maybe you're not as corrupt, which that boat has sailed. There is no, this is done. It's a slam dunk case. But I'm showing you what's the harm that the entity has done to the rest. But this is necessary. You're going to be prosecuted, and I'm showing you what the entity, the Ontario Police Department, is doing as an entity. You want to reference calling the police? You're calling the police that are stalking day and night by helicopter. You go right on ahead. That audible activity, you're also going to prosecute for that. That's called criminal summoning. The threat to engage in criminal summoning, it's achieving the same purpose. You want to threaten somebody who you are stalking. That's the psychopath. And this psychopath can't even spell that word. And let me be clear, he is referencing my documentation while he's using that word. He's using the word that he knows that I use to identify him, Satan, who is stalking me, trying his very hardest to hide his license plate. And then when I read his license plate, which is not private information, nor is it private under any circumstances where the state's engaging in surveillance. Okay, so this is in their alternate universe, and also in what is under federal law, where the government's engaging in surveillance. You don't have any privacy. You're stalking in the bathroom. You're stalking wherever it is that you live, wherever it is that you work. This is the state that is present. You're in the shoes of the state. That is the removal in the same way that you don't have any privacy because they're placing you under surveillance. This is the entity exercising fictitious rights, fictitious authority, while they're literally engaging in what is a conduct stalking you in a whole cartoon environment. That's criminal defamation, that's harassment and intimidation by an entity, referencing the demon-possessed and entirely corrupt agency that are already monitoring with him. So you're talking about, oh, you're going to call the police? That's a threat. Understand the whole purpose of even saying that. The police are already monitoring with him. He's present on behalf of the police. A demon. Okay, so you have another third party, he's monitoring together, but then he engages in what is driving off. Because everything he's saying, point after point, that's another federal charge. Keep on talking, saying everything you're saying, it's another federal charge. And it's not just you. Everybody is catching that. Every single last one. It's documentation of an entity. Okay, so you have him talking to this Latino male that approaches and gets in the vehicle. And this is necessarily so because what he's stating, ARCO's going to be prosecuted for it. You're threatening on behalf of an entity. And let me tell you how the entity actually engages in this. You're talking about what is gang conduct. So ordinarily, but for documentation, all right, but for the ability to prosecute, the entity engages in group conduct. So you'll have one third party, just like he did, hopping on me. And then you'll have other third parties, and they're all acting like they're not concerned about you. But then all of a sudden, one hops on, and it's just like that. They all hop on. Yeah, she's over here taking my license plate too. And then they're all engaging in what is ganging up on you while they're, again, it goes from them being passive aggressive as though they're not even aware of your presence, and then all of a sudden everybody knows what you were doing, and they're all waging allegations together, and then they're calling the police, and then you're engaging in what is harassment as the police are already monitoring with them. Then they have what is the outward form of what is being present in your face, harassing you and threatening you even further, and then engaging in what is ongoing harassment while you are seeking to enforce your rights. This results likely in what is defamation, criminal defamation, and or kidnapping. That's how that pattern of conduct works. That's why it's very serious. You want to engage in threatening to call the police? You'll sit in federal prison for that. That's no small thing. That's exactly how these demons operate. It is gang conduct. This is terrorism. It is terrorism. All right, so anyway, that's why I want to reference that. This is why you also document an entity. The police that he's referencing are the same police that were stalking me hours ago by helicopter. All right, that's very, very relevant what's coming out of that minion's mouth. And you're scared. Maybe if you were that scared, but you're not scared enough because you're still stalking. And you think you're going to threaten me. I'll use every bit of that audible activity to prosecute you. 8LKV252. AH771. So this is what I'm saying. These demons, oh yeah, you're scared, but you're not scared enough to stop engaging in the pattern of conduct. You're not that scared. You're not scared enough. Okay? So like I said, it is currently 8:06 a.m. The fake sun remains here over me. It's nowhere near, again, where I'm at in Upland, California, and then I'm getting on Route 83 going back to the Ontario Town Square. The sun's not anywhere near the museum, which would be the case if this is the natural environment, if that's the sun, okay? It's not. I've already shown that. 9A IV 527, I believe. All right, this is P.O.C. It's 8:07 a.m. Okay, it is 8:32 a.m. License 8YSY153, 8L11082. I can't really see that one. I think I read most of these already. 8LZN673. Yeah, 8SLR848, 8RWE820. 8XDD632, 8GNZ719, 8YBG569, 8AKM416, 282335V2, 8MMM714, 5XAF 087 56331N1, engaging in surveillance. You hear them starting their ignition as I am entering the path. It's a demon under the fake sun. At the McDonald's at the Ontario Mills. 49673K3, 8BDT 052 8WAP 300. It is 8:33 a.m. Remember, at this time again, I remain at the Ontario Town Square after going to Upland, the 7-Eleven at 7:44, which I captured in images. And I remained there, and I was talking about where I was the day before that, which was Chino, California, 98PG782. And the entity, I'm laughing because this is such a, I mean, this is the entity, and this is the entity that is engaging in conduct in an unmistakable type of environment. This is the reality of the environment. It has nothing to do with the scientific facts, so-called, that's around how the environment around us works. No, it's demonic. All right, Satan exercises real-time operation control of the environment. And then as I expose that, Satan then engages in what is real-time conduct, as I've shown, for example, covering up the fake sun. And even while you cover it up, revealing it at the drop of a dime based on what I'm doing or where I'm going. And the entity is keeping that fake sun in the same exact location. It's over my head. At whatever point in the day it reveals itself, it's not going anywhere. 86029U2, that is not the natural environment. That's impossible, and it's demonic. 8GHV970, 8GHV970, 8JFH843. And in addition to that, I've shown you what the entity does, again, focusing on me with rain. I've shown you that at the museum as well. The entity engaging in what is raining underneath the structure of the museum. That was rain reaching underneath. And it's the same, the entity does the same thing with light. Light is not sunlight. I mean, sunlight coming from what would be the natural environment is not reaching underneath structures like that, okay? Focused on where I'm located in the same way that rain, it's, okay, 86029U2. So it's raining through the building now. Sunlight is reaching through the building. That's what I documented at Shiro's Liquor. It's reaching through the structures inside, the aisles itself, in order to be on the ground near me where I'm standing at the front of the store, through the aisle. I mean, and that's the same venue where the fake sun is over the venue in the morning. Anyway, but where I'm at in Ontario Mills after getting off of Route 61, Mathis Brothers, the fake sun is remaining over me. There are multiple bases upon which, I mean, I've gone on to Fontana, the entity keeping the fake sun there, as I go to Mercy House, and I literally start a video at that same intersection where I then begin walking on Bonneview in another entirely different direction. The fake sun is, again, in violation of that video that you see. At the same time, the entity is keeping that fake sun in front of me, which is the pattern. That's not at the same time moving in the direction, keeping it on the side of me as I walk on Bonneview from that intersection, getting off of the bus Route 61 and walking to Mercy House. And doing so, walking in the direction south. The entity kept the fake sun moving in the direction east. Doesn't go south until the bus turns south on Vineyard. All right. And this is the entity stalking with that light source to the Ontario Mills where I remain. And it is 8:36 a.m. and this is nowhere near the city of Chino, as I documented the other day. This is nowhere near, and it's very precise in Chino. It's through the window of that Stater Brothers after I captured that video. The entity is also stalking with airplanes over me under that fake sun. The demon possessor are always following around with directed light. All right, and the entity is keeping the fake sun yesterday while I'm at Ontario Town Square. And it's over the apartment building while I'm facing 280 North Limit Apartments. It's over my head while I'm sitting on the bench. It's very precise. That would never be present over while I'm at Mathis Brothers, while I am on the, again, I'm going in an entirely different direction getting on Route 61 today, so I'm speaking to the totality of that. But at the same time, you're talking about what is my presence at the Ontario Mills. This is, the presence of over my head at the Ontario Mills is nowhere near the bench at the Ontario Town Square, where it is aiming over my head as I literally turn around and just take a picture of it. It's hovering right there, where Eugenio with Merchants Landscaping is stalking with ongoing audible activity, while the Ontario International Airport are flying over repeatedly with commercial airline planes, where the Ontario Police Department are flying over repeatedly by helicopter, where the demon-possessed are pacing all around like psychopaths that they are with directed light, okay? The ongoing demonic scene where they are practicing lawlessness as I am surrounding these demons with documentation and prosecuting it, okay? This is the presence of the fake sun at 8:38 a.m. at Ontario Mills. 8TIN 485. And this is license plate HTRD, HDR. They're stalking under the fake sun while I am standing in front of Philly's Best, the Subway, the Rockler Woodworking Hardware, the new Happy Day Spa at the Ontario Mills. At 8:38 a.m., I'm in Chino, California. The fake sun is directly over my head while I'm at 6989 Schaefer Avenue in Chino, California. And then I enter that Stater Brothers. I remain until after 9 o'clock in the morning. And I exit. The fake sun remains there over my head as I'm walking through back to the bus stop of Route 83 and going back toward the city of Ontario through Upland back to the city of Chino where I remained. Yesterday, I got on Route 83 and I went to Upland, 7:44 in the morning. I'm there. I remain and complete a purchase, get back on Route 83 in the city of Upland, return to the city of Ontario, and I remain at the Ontario Town Square. The entity is repeatedly stalking and harassing with helicopter. At 8:38 a.m., the fake sun is over the 280 North Limit Apartments, 9413-912, directly over the 280 North Limit Apartments in alignment with my person over my head at that apartment building, which is right next door to the Ovid Family Community Library, where the entity is keeping the fake sun for the duration of the day, as I documented again yesterday. The entity is engaging in harassment and terrorism by the Ontario Police, stalking by helicopter. At 8:38 a.m., I captured this image. This is not the sun that will be over this location. This is the Ontario Mills. Again, following from Route 61, getting on Route 61, going to and getting off at the Inland Empire, all right, and documenting Mathis Brothers, a venue that's group stalking. All right, they're engaged in a sex offense. I'm being molested while I'm on the bus in their relevant position. All I did was get off and let me document some more sex offenders for you who are monitoring me while I'm on public transportation with the demons who are sitting around monitoring with impunity, every single last one of them, psychopaths. All I did was get off the bus. This is not the sun that will remain over me. This is not the sun that will be over the bus while I'm on Route 83 and at the same time while I'm on Route 61 as I'm documenting, and also while I'm at the Ontario Mills, while I'm remaining stationary in the city of Chino, while I'm remaining at the Ontario Town Square, maintaining that central presence. This is a group stalker. 8SAL197 is engaging in surveillance right underneath the fake sun, which is in perfect alignment with me while she enters into facilitating the new subway, monitoring, okay, the entire time, stalking. It's 8:41 a.m. That's the significance of those images that I just took, the significance of the license plates of that I documented. I want to make sure I get this Asian female inside of Posh Nails, 8JWU726, monitoring an American citizen, 7LTA596, HTRD, HDR. Alrighty, it is currently 8:41 a.m. This is the ongoing state system, federal group stalking and monitoring, 8ZJM268, 8LNH968, 8CAC048, engaging in surveillance, getting out of their car now, 6NNE248. They're all under the fake sun. You can sit in your car at surveillance. You want to get out of your car after you know that I'm looking at you. It's ongoing surveillance. It's activity creation. 6GTN898, 7CST752, HIS4LIF, 7VQB212, IOETE92, 7VAG481. And it's 8:42 a.m. 7SHH581, and right behind me, 8WFG094, 7ALV117, Omnitrans bus number 2352, see, group stalking via the drive-thru at Del Taco, 9BFV729, they're under the fake sun, they're stalking. Want to order something from Del Taco under the fake sun, it's still criminal surveillance. 8NHT551. These are the same demons that are stalking where it is I sleep. They know exactly where I am at. They are molesting with directed light. While I'm on the bus, you know exactly where I'm at. There is nothing that they are doing that is any form, meaning it is unpersuasive. You're a bunch of stalkers, shown exactly as you are, okay? That's what this is about. So while I'm documenting, I'm reminding you there's nothing that you're doing that's anything other than stalking. 8CTB373, 8XKN071, 6YFV669. 8RHD891. 8NHT551, 8NHT551. 8TBV456, 8RXS658, 8 CB86X59, paper. Seven CFK225. Five DNW 159, 7ZJG 119, CC47W71, 55606F3, 8HJC 532, 8F81206, 35429B3, G705RO, 5GDD038, 8RBH045, 8RXS658, TOP8, that's what it says, top 8. 8VYJ832, 8KLT159, 8GDD977, 8XIX081, 7LIP316, 8UMF423, 6NJH521, 7AVF073, 8RHC237, 8RBH045, 6FNM285, 8VIB425, 8MEL798, CD37U28 paper, 8P31630, 8LNJ141, 8 8YJV516. Here are those. And again, this is the 76 gas station. 5YTD752. An ongoing population. That's how you have this pattern, this unmistakable, very specific pattern. It is an impossibility that it would ever be a coincidence, because their conduct in and of itself is impossible conduct. This impossible conduct in the environment, the impossible occurrence of the environment, the impossible conduct that they engage in, okay, directed light, and it's a pattern everywhere you're going. This is the demon-possessed population. And they're literally over here at the 76 car wash, directed light while they're wiping down cars. Again, it's the absence of any, when you are piercing through the veil, they're relying upon the appearance of normalcy. There is no normalcy in directed light. There is no normalcy under the fake sun. And you're a threat as you recognize that. Hence criminal summoning, criminal defamation, harassment, false allegations. All right, that's Satan that's scared. 7AVF073, 6TQJ124, 5X50781. I read that one already. It is 8:48 a.m. Um, 8JQT781. XCK406. It is 8:48 a.m. Capturing the images of the fake sun that's directly over me as I am facing the Ontario Mills Mall, standing in the parking lot, which is not going to be the sun that's in that same position as I'm facing the 280 North Limit Apartments as I'm walking around the Ontario Town Square, the Ontario International Airport stalking me with commercial airline planes at that Ontario Town Square, and the fake sun is directly over my head in that field while I'm standing beside the large clock. I'm facing the apartments, the Ovitt Family Community Library, the parking garage. This is where the fake sun is over me. This is not the Ontario Mills. This is not occurring at the same time. This is stalking with this light source. 2751322. And again, remember, I don't leave from that area. I enter the library and I exit at 6 6 p.m., and that's where the fake sun remained. All right, you're talking about what's supposed to be the center of the universe where I'm at, and also it's present over every other location, because it wouldn't just be Ontario Mills and the plaza where the Ovid Family Community Library area is. You're talking about what you are suggesting, which is impossible, that the sun is over the center of everything everywhere at all times, all right, during the day, which is what you're doing when you're keeping a fake sun over one location all day long. So it's present over everybody else and in every other state as well. Well, that's the case. No, that's not. That's literally antithetical to the very definition of the sun. That's in constant movement. And thus, it is not going to be present, for example, at the same venue where I'm entering. And as I exit, that light source is over the same building. You're still, Amy, I'm still looking at it. It's right there over the same location, the same address, in alignment with me. Yeah, that's P.O.C. 8ZAJ201. That's capturing the demonic. While I am at the 280 North Lemon apartment, showing you sitting on the bench, and the sun is supposedly over my head, it is not over the Ontario Mills Mall. It's right there over that apartment building over my head, where you also see what the entity does with engineered light. That weird light also surrounds. It's not even sunlight, and that's not the sun, meaning it's not a natural environment. 7NHC291, because you clearly see a light source in the sky, but this is not the natural environment. This is not the environment that has been defined for us, that we have been told about based on what are alleged scientific facts. 6LLS185, 67147U2, 8XKW628, 8WPG124. Ontario Police Group stalking at Off-Broadway Shoe Warehouse under the fake sun. I'll get that in a second. 8910182, 7NWW204. It is 8:51 a.m. This is Ontario Police vehicle parked over here behind the, I think this is a dumpster. What is this? A little dumpster area. Back here in the nook. All right, the vehicle is abandoned. License plate 161428. 1614286, excuse me. And let me show you the fake sun where the Ontario Police Department are group stalking, nowhere near the Ontario Town Square, where they were using their helicopters yesterday, following me around, harassing me while I'm talking about the fake sun in Chino, California. Again, that is vehicle number 1041. That's back here at the back of the Off-Broadway Shoe Warehouse, a facilitating venue. The fake sun is directly over me as I'm facing that police vehicle. The Ontario Police Department are present at the venue where the fake sun is present. That's always the case. They were present under the fake sun in Ontario at the Ontario Town Square yesterday. They were present under the fake sun as I exit the Ovid Family Community Library yesterday. What you need to understand is that they're also present vicariously via demons such as 7NWM611. They are demons acting together directly and vicariously. That's what group stalking is. It's a state system of surveillance and terrorism. It's demonic activity. It is 8:53 a.m. Five BAT 543 8 ZLP 867 8 JQT 381 8 RML 036 7 HHU 565 7 ROS 692 8 RXS 126 F985RO. And it is 8:54 a.m. (9:23 a.m.) The fake sun directly over me through the window of the Route 61 bus, where they're engaged in ongoing molestation with direct light while I'm on the bus. The fake sun is directly over my head on this bus as well, on Inland Empire Boulevard at 3555 Inland Empire. This is La Quinta Inn and Suites, a facilitating venue. State surveillance is underway. That is not over the Ontario Town Square where the entity was group stalking yesterday at the location where I was located, which is the Ontario Town Square area, the parking garage. That is captured in still images. This is P.O.C. It's 9:24 a.m. It's 10:23 a.m. This is the fake sun directly over my head. I am not at the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. That's the Ontario City Hall. That's LORRAINE. a facilitating venue. Criminal activity is underway. The impossible maintenance of a light source over me at the back of the library. Impossible light activity. This is a structure. This is the inside of a building. This is the shadow of the windows and of the trees appearing inside. This is engineered light for purposes of criminal monitoring, and presence in this light is P.O.C. And this is the back of the Ovid Family Community Library at 10:23 a.m., by the way. I am remaining in a multiplicity of locations at the same time, and in addition, the fake sun is at the back of the library now. It's at the entrance over my head when I'm entering at 10 o'clock. The sun is not engaging in that sort of conduct, but this is exactly the same conduct that I'm showing you while I'm at that parking lot. The entity vacillating, keeping the fake sun over my head. This is the sun that's not over the elevator inside of this library, where the directed light's remaining over the staircase right now, present upon entrance. This is the vacillation of that light source where I move around, where I'm located. This is stalking light. This is entirely demonic. And the entity follows with the fake sun to this venue where the sun was not present, as I captured at the Ontario Mills, as I captured at Mathis Brothers. This is P.O.C. This is entirely demonic. This is capturing the demonic, the environment for criminal monitoring. P.O.C. These are demons. And what's legally relevant is that these demons are stalking in a bathroom. Their conversation is audible activity and directed light. And these are the same demons that molest with directed light while they stalk everywhere else that I go, and they're stalking in the bathroom. This includes Tanya. She's a violent sex offender at the Ovid Family Community Library. She's group stalking in the bathroom while my panties are down. This includes Mickey and Yesenia. They are group stalking with the demons who are in the bathroom, monitoring while they know they're also being documented. That's literally what you're hearing Satan do. They are in here monitoring me, holding on a conversation for purposes of audible activity creation, stalking in bathroom stalls. The demons that are monitoring a group stalking with directed light, that's who's in the bathroom, okay? This is Ovid Family Community Library, where the fake sun is over the back of the library as well. That's what you're also looking at, which I captured again today, not the first time I captured that. And those are indeed the demon-possessed stalking in the bathroom. It's 2:11 p.m. This is P.O.C. 7 UMC 655. That's a sex offender that is monitoring while my panties are down with the sex offenders inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, including Mickey, Securitas, Greg, Yesenia. And we've got, hey Greg, how's it going? Okay, I'll wait in line. This is impossible light activity that's on the staircase while they're stalking. And that's inside of the private space where they're stalking. And the fake sun is I captured in video at the back of the library. That impossible light on the floor behind the bookcases at the back of the library, that's the evidence of demon possession as well, by the way. And then the fake sun as I capture it right over my head as I'm standing on the staircase. And then I step outside to the front of the library where the fake sun is right over my head at the entrance. And this is upon the entity moving the fake sun to remain over me as I come to the Ovid Family Community Library after going to the Ontario Mills and Mathis Brothers, where the fake sun is present and nowhere near the museum or Upland, California. This is the pattern of conduct. These are sex offenders monitoring. It is 2:15 p.m. And that third party, again, that license plate, that's a minion that's pacing, the entity that knows exactly where I'm at, and they are pacing in relevant position as I step outside, capture the pictures of the fake sun. They are crossing paths. Those are the same minions that are molesting with directed light. The sex offenders following into the bathroom. All right, 2:15 p.m., very serious sexual violence, predatory conduct by the demon-possessed population. This is Ovid Family Community Library, P.O.C. (7YLU 514), 7GJH 874, 8ETB 971, 9BFB 441, 5HJP 417, 6RWM 778, 8JKP 138. Engaging in an ongoing molestation of my person which is what the entirety of the entity did. I'm specifically noting this third party engaging in the egregious act of molesting me with ongoing knowledge of the fact that they're being documented while continuously stalking. AJKP138, a demon molesting me with directed light. This looks like 5WAK486, 99547F2, 8PDV137, 8SSY225, 6CSY987, 17124J3, 7CCV126, 5EQD716, 5HLT040, 7FSL836, 48860W2, 7PSR 608, I believe, 7EHL820, 8KBC562, 8ZAX944, 5RZN789, 152WP, that's handicap. All right, and 8KBC562, this is a demon engaging in what is an act of terrorism, stalking in the path with light, while also molesting me with directed light. Okay, demons engage in what is stalking all around you, following you with flashing light. All right, using vehicles typically is appearing with what are the use of hazard lights. All right, the demon-possessed law enforcement agencies, they are using their vehicle lights. It's the same demonic behavior. You're looking at the same thing in a different method, if you will. Actually, it's actually not a different method. It's the same method. It's nuanced. You're talking about a police vehicle versus a large truck versus an Amazon Prime vehicle, one delivering mail, one who's supposedly a police officer, another who is operating a large truck, one who is just driving their vehicle. They're all demons who engage in this demonic pattern of what is in the specific environment, directed light, the specific environment surrounding you, and the demon-possessed stalk and maintain presence with methods of flashing light. And that's what this third party is doing, 8KBC562. 6Y1S148, 6RCF293, 8UJC178, 8NKY975, engaging in the same thing, surrounding me with light activity. 606TA handicap. And this is impunity while the entity is, it's impunity while they're still stalking and you're documenting them. But I want to be clear, as I'm documenting, as I'm prosecuting the people of the state who shall be sliced down, I am literally identifying those who I'm going to prosecute personally. This is impunity while you are threatening my life. You know that you're being documented. You're stalking on behalf of the police department that's keeping me under surveillance. The police departments, by the way, who are keeping me under surveillance, whatever city I'm in. And you are sitting there in plain sight, creating this light activity, which is terrorism by a demon, okay? This is concerted conduct, this is conduct of an entity, and engaging in this flashing of light, which is serving criminal monitoring. This is impunity. It's directly relevant to the intensity of that prosecution. I want to make sure that I highlight that for you. Understand that. 4EBJ348 is molesting me, a demon molesting me with directed light, with children in the vehicle while doing so as well. 7CUY442. 7C1P206. They're surrounding me with light activity. 7RYN739, 4XLR625, 8WQK479, 7GJH874, 99547F2, 2YLE819. All right, this is a commercial actor. The company Belfor, spelled BELFOR, license plate 40867P2, 8NKY975, 8LZU427, 4AYT478, 7MMC363, 6UQF412, 7NOW156, 8GTG684, 8XKM914, 8X 8KM919 or 8XRM919. But I believe this is a 8XKM919. 5RXN818. P4L and then the symbol heart 999. 6MTM161. NLN1047. This is Texas. 4XAH185. 97981Y2. 7XOT855. 7ZEF704. 4CBH620. 8NJH182. 8XFP221. 46892E3. 8ACZ715. YP51124. This is a commercial vehicle. It's a large truck with the logo Biagi. Biagi spelled B-I-A-G-I. 8KWU825. 8YNP497. Or 8YND497. 7TGU500, 7ZBN905, IMSASE, 4XYP805, this is a black Mercedes, 8AQU670, 5WEG607, 6EJR024, 7VGA538, 7XPG762, 8UYB830, 641T11, that's Nevada, 7LDR745, this is a demon that's repeatedly crossing path, 7VGA538, 8KZC446, K9A2JD, 8L80600, 5RRR485 or 48S. Okay, so let me repeat that. 5RRR485 or 5RRR48S. This is the paper plate CD1L76 8YK H427 09874L3 8FLK862 6MTM161 8HDR211 47748D3 CB98F55, that's paper, 8DNU690 6PIE777, molesting me with directed light, 5WGA989 7432884 74932B3 80744E3 94438Z2 6WBX794 8N5H182 8KZC446 8HDD232 This is Omnitrans, license 1234513, and this is employee number 3020, an African American female. She's fair-skinned, heavy, okay? Extraordinarily fake eyelashes. They stand out, very tacky. She's monitoring with representing the people of the state, and this is where I'm leaving the Ontario Mills, and I'm headed back toward the Ovid Family Community Library, where I captured pictures of the fake sun directly over my head while I'm on Route 61, headed back toward the Ovid Family Community Library, where I get off at the Metro 102 apartments. That's the bus stop at Lemon and Hope Boulevard. I'm headed toward that location on the bus after remaining at the Ontario Mills area, getting off at Mathis Brothers, etc. And so the fake sun I captured directly over my head while at the intersection of Inland Empire Boulevard and Haven, at literally the property of La Quinta Inn. This is a hotel. I've clearly captured this in images. The fake sun is directly over my head. This is an impossible occurrence, showing what is clear maintenance of a light source over me, stalking with a light source, the ongoing incrimination of that criminal setting that remains over me. And this is, again, demonic activity while you're witnessing that impossible occurrence of a fake sun. It's revealing the fact that it is ongoing, pervasive criminal activity that's ongoing amongst what is a demon-possessed population who work at La Quinta Inn, by the way, monitoring me while I am showing you the fake sun over my head while the bus stops at the bus stop right in front of La Quinta Inn at Inland Empire Boulevard in Haven and in Rancho Cucamonga. And then I also captured the fake sun right over my head on the bus driven by employee 3020. And the fake sun is over my head while I'm on the bus of Omnitrans at the Ontario International Airport, which I captured those two pictures I'm looking right out the window. Fake sun is right over my head. And so these are images that I took at the Ontario International Airport as well. And then I returned to the Ovid Family Community Library, where the sun is not remaining over the roof of that library, over the entrance area, like I captured the day prior, and as I captured on an ongoing basis as I remain at that venue. This is not the case. It's not going to be seen in any vantage point. It's nowhere by what is the La Quinta Inn on Inland Empire Boulevard. Accordingly, it is also not the sun, as I have captured the entity keeping the fake sun over me coming from Fontana, for example, on this same Route 61, going back toward Ontario after remaining in Fontana for the duration of the day. The entity engaged in the same pattern of keeping the fake sun over me in the evening, through the windshield, through the windows, aiming, molesting with directed light, as though the sun is going to be in perfect alignment with the window and the windshield of the vehicle that I'm on as I'm heading back to the place of origin where I got on Route 61 in the morning, headed toward Fontana, which is Route 61. And again, this is the ongoing consistent analysis, because when I'm getting on entirely different routes of Omnitrans, Route 83, okay, Route 85 or 87, Route 66, the entity is engaging in the same pattern, keeping a light source over me. This is not possibly the sun, because also when I am not getting on any bus and I remain stationary in Ontario, as I documented, remaining at the Ontario Town Square, that light source remains stationary over the top of my head, wherever it is that I'm sitting. And that is on a bench at the Ontario Town Square, where the entity kept a fake sun as I walk around into the field by the large clock at the Ontario Town Square, while I'm by the parking structure, the same parking structure where the entity is keeping a fake sun into the evening, as I exit that Ovid Family Community Library, which is right next door, across from the Ontario Town Square and the 280 North Lemon Apartments. This is capturing the setting, the criminal setting, the identity of the demon-possessed population who are stalking. This is group stalking that I'm capturing. So this is the significance. This is Omnitrans. This is the bus that I get on and leaving the Ontario Mills, and it is operated by employee 3020, who was engaging in the pattern of conduct. Ready? License plate 4VCC314, 7UFH212, 94606U2, 8YBH214, 11364H1, 8YMM058, 8PSZ792, 8ABP751, 8RXC809, 7XVS330, 5LZH188, 7W76431, ASTFCL, substantially similar, it's a license plate with 6 characters, 7TYX148, 6VPK180, 8EOG951, 7ARR265, 7XQJ855, molesting me with directed light, engaging in criminal surveillance, monitoring with law enforcement, and doing so with children in the car. Okay, 00241J3, 8LNJ141, 5LT0028, 41651D1, 9RKF120, 8XPX176. Omnitrans, license 1302448. This is Route 81, bus number 1361. This is at the Ontario Mills. They are engaging in what is stalking with activity. As I capture an image of the group stalker that's monitoring me, while demons are driving by in their vehicles, they're molesting me with directed light. This is the demon that's standing at the bus stop right next to me, monitoring with them. As I take a picture of that demon, Omnitrans immediately arrives on the scene, crossing path, that's stalking with activity. All right, with simultaneity to my operation of my communication device, and then they're engaging in what is surveillance, remaining with light activity. Okay, license 12959M1, 7FUA666, 8JMN508, 8VWU012, 8B28B12, excuse me, BW28B12, 7FBK972, 1545833, this is Route 61, bus number 2353, 8KPX716, 7ZFW311, 8P31630, 6VPY123, 19947M3, 4CBH620, BN111, handicap. It is 6:02 p.m. 7 PVR 641. They're driving in directed light. The fake sign is over the parking garage and directed light is on the ground. These are demons driving in it. License plate 8MQC 956. License BV10W41. That's a paper plate. And this conduct where they are driving through the directed light, this is the entity that's engaging and terrorizing you, and the entity does so with impunity. You're going to prosecute for that. I showed you directed light inside of the parking garage. You literally have what is that same engineered light. It's sitting literally on the asphalt, and they're just driving through it. These are demons. That's demonic conduct. It is openly terrorizing, and they are openly engaging in it, while the entity also knows it's being documented. Those license plates, they are monitoring me while I'm in the bathroom with my panties down. They're sex offenders as well. They're engaged in bathroom monitoring. 7WGT031, 65294Z1. They're engaged in surveillance. That's exactly what 8JKY447 is doing. Surrounded with directed light under the fake sun and monitoring while my panties are down, remaining in relevant position. 8MQC956 is crossing path again in the directed light that's on the ground. 6MAM590. 99840Y1, M15BR10. Let's see, I'm monitoring. And by the way, the third party that enters into the bathroom for purposes of engaging in surveillance in that private space is the Securitas, the security officer. Excuse me, the security guard. She's a minion. She's a third party. She's representing the people of the state wearing a company badge while engaging in criminal monitoring. This is the people of the state identified as Securitas, a company to be prosecuted as the sex offender that it is, entering into the private space, using your position with any employee for facilitation of that state surveillance system, acting in concert with the people of the state who are engaging in surveillance in and around the bathroom, which is predatory and sexually violent conduct subject to criminal monitoring inside of that private space. It's ongoing public information as your panties are down and up, everything that's going on in the bathroom, and they are engaging in what is that P.O.C. That is Securitas that enters the private space, 8WOG111, and not the African American female. It is the third party. Her license plate is 4YFS497. She is the Securitas employee. License B1314B. License 8NSN051. 8TMF578, 7NWT462, sitting in the parking lot monitoring with the demons that are pacing around me, driving in that directed light, that engineered light. License 6UWP517, monitoring in relevant position while I'm subject to criminal monitoring in the bathroom while my panties are down. They're maintaining presence. This is group stalking. The entity engages in group stalking while you are physically indisposed, engaged in private activity, genitalia exposed in a bathroom. They're still engaging in that ongoing obsessive stalking. 6UWP517, 8ZIV221, 8BAB311, 6ERS 147, 5CEY 470, 6WSK 349, 8HAL 868, 6UVP 948, 7ZLC 780, 8ZJ 4110. Let me make sure I get the sex offender's license plate correct. 8ZJA140, 8NPB108. Yeah, 7ZLC 780. 8BAB 311, 6EBS 147. 6PJN178. ZC4XFG1. 5HRB 476. I didn't read that. It is 6:06 p.m. and the entity's fake son at the back side of the Ovid Family Community Library. I guess jumping from the front entrance over my head where it remained as I stepped out this afternoon, documenting federal stalking in the bathroom. Remember, the fake son's in the same position it is in the morning? Not only that, as I'm inside of the bathroom, you have this is criminal monitoring. And those demons that are doing that are also monitoring while my panties are down, also aware of where I'm at and what I'm doing. So while you listen to that audible activity, which is demonic, under a fake sun at this same venue of the Ovid Family Community Library, those are the sex offenders that I just identified by license plate, violent sex offenders. Anyway, the entity is keeping that fake sun that's over the back of the library suddenly at 10:23 a.m. and I guess that's just hopping from the entrance because that's what the entity is doing in an unnatural environment with that which is not the sun, totally out of conformity with what is anything having to do with what are scientific facts as to how the natural environment would operate. That is literally the movement, the loosey-goosey conduct with a light source in the sky, appropriately termed the fake sun. Okay, because the sun, based on what are scientific facts, does not actually exist, based on what are the conduct that I demonstrated again today while I'm at Ontario Mills, and there's supposedly a sun remaining over the Ontario Town Square. That was directly over my head yesterday, but I'm nowhere near Ontario Town Square, and the sun remained directly over my head while I was at the Ontario Mills on the Route 61 bus, which I have not been on in a prolonged period. But nonetheless, going on Route 83, going on Route 61, it results in the same exact conduct, the maintenance of a light source, directed light on that bus. Which is, again, directed light, not sunlight. But this is the pattern, stalking with light. And those demons that are stalking with light entering into the bathroom, and it does not make a difference that they're wearing some sort of logo in doing so. This is the malice of that system. This is what is that public corruption. And that public corruption is revealing what is a very predatory and sexually violent, not only a molester, but an offender, all right? One that is engaging in a total invasion of your privacy, obliteration of your privacy by an entity, by the government, directly and vicariously. And it is showing that sexual violence while they are fully aware, witnessing their own prosecution, and they continuously are determined to engage in that sexually violent conduct. This is analogous to stalking day and night by helicopter. You are fully aware of the fact that you are being documented. I'm going to use that to prosecute you. It's directly relevant to your mind state, the threat that you pose to the public, and the level of a sexual violent actor that you are. And that's what the people of the state are, and the state itself. This is, again, documentation of federal stalking by entity in the bathroom, having exited. And like I stated, the fake sun remains over me at the same exact venue, the Ovid Family Community Library. This is not the natural environment under any circumstances. The fake sun is over me. We could just pick a time. Let's say, first of all, the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, it's on the same block. The fake sun is over me at 7:30 in the morning. The sun is not going to be at the Ovid Family Community Library, which is north on the opposite side of Hope Boulevard, right now at 6:09 p.m. That's an illustration. Not the sun, let alone when I go to an entirely different location and I show you what's the maintenance of a perfect zenith. It's remaining over my head. The object itself is over me, in alignment with me. But what about what it's doing at the same time yesterday, where it remained yesterday, which is whatever location I happen to be. Yesterday it happened to be, I went to Upland, and then I remain at the Ontario Town Square, which is, it's essentially the same property, the Ovid Family Community Library, where all these sex offenders are present in that environment. Under what is the fake sun that was over the back of the Ovid Family Community Library. It was over the back of the library, aiming impossible light. So these are the minions that are Ovid Family Community Library whose licensed. They are violent sex offenders, and many of them are going to federal prison. I've documented this entity engaging in criminal summoning for years, criminal defamation, harassment, and intimidation with the Ontario police, who are also heavily documented, hand in hand with the methods of intimidation and harassment. That's exactly what I documented yesterday, and I'm showing you their demented status, their demented condition, while you see impossible light activity inside of a parking garage where they're crowding around in relevant position. All right, license 6PJN178. 8BAB311 crossing path, and Tanya, license 5CEY470. This is P.O.C. 6EBS147. Tanya's a demon. While she's reversing, directed light across that license plate that I just read. All right, but you also know she's a demon because the fake sun remains over that venue where she works, which providing no legal argument whatsoever, because that's why the fake sun, she's in the specific environment. She's a demon engaging in what is state surveillance and terrorism. And I'm going to prosecute Tanya. It is currently 6:10 p.m. And I just want to make sure I'm clear that I captured video. And that's, again, not the first time I captured the fake sun over the back of the library. That is ridiculously, just stupid conduct with if you want to, first of all, I'm telling the world what Satan doesn't want you to know. This is not the natural environment, people. What you have learned or read, and what I learned, this is why I started documenting, because I know how the environment, the so-called environment works, and the sun. And when I'm looking up, when I'm outside and it's remaining over my head, to the extent that I'm getting burned, and I've never been burned in my life, and it's not because I'm outside now, because I'm homeless. That has nothing to do with it. It's because that light source remained over my head from morning until the very last second in the evening. That is not normal. In addition to what is going to be prosecuted as a physical battery, while Satan itself is pursuing me relentlessly. And that's going to translate to the very demons who are engaging in the bidding of Satan, the people of the state. All right, they're stalking in that environment. It's demonic activity. It's an ongoing battery that you're subject to while they are stalking. They are pursuing you relentlessly, a bunch of demons. Okay, Satan is taking place. Satan is present. Satan is capable of being captured, if you will, via the people. Anyway, so the entity is engaging in placing that fake sun over the back of the library, and you're going to remember it's over the entrance, over my head of the library as I walk in. It's over the side of the library as I remain there, both in the morning and in the evening. That's where the demons of the U.S. Navy and the Air Force and the JVS SoCal helping veterans, they were on that side with the fake sun, directed light underneath that shit. That was all impossible light. Remember, I'm remaining at the Ontario Mills today. So what's that remaining over my head? Well, all those demons were engaging in what is having that little event, while the Ontario police were engaging in ongoing terrorism, which they were directly engaged in. You were talking about what is no different. You're looking at psychopaths, okay? Calling themselves, and this is what I love. This is what you need to see. You need to see them calling themselves doing good to the veterans, holding up their American flags while they're engaging in the most un-American, the most demented, evil, wicked, and twisted conduct that you cannot even fathom. You would not fathom, and you would not hear it, but for my documentation, and I know that. That's why I don't take it as any compliment when someone's stating that, oh, okay, well, yeah, I really believe you. I don't care what you believe, all right, because this was never designed to be believed in the first place. It is out of the pit of hell, all right, and I'm not doing this for an audience. This is not published on social media for likes. It's not going to be accepted by a bunch of demons engaging in this criminal system. It's being exposed that the truth may be known, and it cannot in any way be reconciled what the entity is doing, how it's doing it, with regard to what are the facts as to what is shown. These are facts that it's impossible that these events are occurring. Directed light, the fake sun. It's called that on purpose because it is absolutely unnatural and impossible. But it is fact. That's why it's documented. You have to document that. The very pattern of conduct itself is a trap designed to silence the one subject to it. That is the core wicked purpose. And that's why the people of the state and the state shall suffer the consequences as a matter of justice. That's exactly what this is about, and that's exactly what you're going to serve. While you're sitting up witnessing me prosecute you, relentlessly stalking in a bathroom, so concerned about what's going on in my panties, you know what I'm going to pull out of my panties? Your federal prosecution, and you're going to sit in a mental ward. You're going to sit in federal prison. That's what's going on in my panties, right? My guns stay loaded. Okay, and this is speaking to what are the Ontario International Airport flying over LORRAINE College of Law, a facilitating venue, where the fake sun, as you see me facing, I'm at the back of the library. The fake sun is over facing over the back of the library. Impossible light aiming at necessarily some sort of diagonal vantage point where it's sunlight and the shadow of the trees are appearing on the floor on the inside of the library. That's entirely demonic. Entirely demonic. And now while I'm standing outside, the shadow of those trees and bushels are aiming in the opposite direction because the sun remains at the same venue. Now it's over the parking lot. Still over what is the same venue. Aiming light on the same venue, the pattern of conduct. Okay, Tanya is a minion. Tanya doesn't have a prayer, let alone a legal argument in federal court. I'm going to drag her. And what am I dragging? I'm dragging Satan. Satan is a violent sex offender. Satan is a liar. Satan is a criminal, a treacherous one. a treacherous one. And he has many, many minions. And guess what? Every single last one of those minions are going to be dragged. That does not make them mighty. There are many minions and there are many inferior minions. Many does not make might. It does not. You have many idiots, right? Many inferior. That's why they're all stalking me. One. All of them. Me. That's why. And it's pathetic. So it is currently 6:15 p.m. and I want to make sure that I document that. This is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. This is, again, today going nowhere near Upland. I got on Route 61. I didn't even get on Route 83. And you saw on video the direction that the fake sun went. And you can also juxtapose that with the video that I reminded you of that's posted on my website when I went to Mercy House after getting on Route 61. And the fake sun proceeds to keep in alignment with me as I walk in the direction south on Bonneview, not continuing on Route 61 toward Fontana. But this morning, the sun is not moving in any direction south, which would keep it out of alignment with the window while I'm on that bus heading east on Hope Boulevard. The entity is engaging in the pattern of keeping a fake sun, the work of Satan, the demon possessed who surround, monitoring on a communication device just like you saw in the video. The criminal pattern of conduct. Doing so on behalf of the corrupt and demon-possessed law enforcement agencies. That's the P.O.C. in California. And then as I return to the Ovid Family Community Library, that fake sun returns with me over my head. Not present, remaining at the same time. Not over the Ovid Family Community Library or Ontario Town Square for the entire time, but also appearing to remain over me while I'm on public transportation, getting off on Inland Empire, walking about that property, and then getting on public transportation and coming back, and it's remaining over at all times in all of those places, both in motion and while stationary over the property here where I return to. That's not what's going on. The entity is moving that fake sun, keeping it over me everywhere that I go, even until the end of the day, including as I'm at the back of the library after it's over, customarily the entrance over my head, which is where I was at in the afternoon, by the way, speaking to what is the non-movement of a light source. It's also not moving while it's over the parking garage. This is the abysmal fail of Satan, failing to mimic what should be what is taught to us about the natural environment, because the sun would not still be there, period. Okay, that's not the sun, and that's why I don't refer to it as the sun. I refer to it as what it is. It's the work of Satan. It's a fake sun. It's based on a lie. All right? It's based on a lie that we have all been told about, in order that you remain ignorant about what you're surrounded by, who you're surrounded by, and what they're doing while they're surrounding you. All right? It's currently 6:17 p.m., and this is P.O.C. It's 8:42 p.m. The people of the state of California engaged in criminal summoning. I remain at what is the Page 1 Cafe area. The entity is sounding sirens. The people of the state are pacing around me, walking where I'm seated, and stalking in the path with light, which you can see in the still image that I captured. This is documentation of the entity. In other words, the entity that I've already documented is going to be prosecuted for that criminal act. The entity is engaging in, that's terrorism, while the entity is stalking, surrounding me with that audible activity. Repeatedly is flying over as well. The Ontario International Airport using commercial airline planes, and the entity also using smaller size planes flying directly over my head, while the commercial size planes fly in relevant position on the south side of my person. It is currently 8:42 p.m. This is documentation of what is criminal summoning. The entity, for example, how you can use that evidence where you're subject to the criminal conduct, state surveillance, and terrorism by an entity. You can specifically name the entity. For example, everybody that I documented by license plate is being prosecuted for criminal summoning that I am subject to at 8:42 p.m. All right, this is P.O.C. And that's how an entity is not getting away with anything. The demon that's stalking with light and then speeds off is engaging in criminal conduct on behalf of the people of the state. And many of them are already documented, meaning named on my podcast. And they are being documented while that minion is acting on behalf of the same exact entity and engaging in terrorism with the state of California. It's currently 8:43 p.m. This is P.O.C. License BW99A37. The entity engaging in terrorism, following with the sound of, I guess you could say, reminiscent of firecrackers. An entity that is engaging in what is stalking and terrorism. It's reminiscent of gunshots. It's noise. It's audible activity. It's occurring with simultaneity to what I'm doing. That's terrorism. Psychopaths do that while the people of the state are stalking inside of any venue. Those demons are engaging in an ongoing creation of a soundtrack of my every move. This is literally what Satan is doing while I am outside. All right, in loud bang noises while I am walking. Of course, directed light is present, my shadow in front, behind, on both sides of my person. The fake moon is over me, over the same B&G Plaza where the fake sun is. These are demons that are monitoring this documentation of terrorism. 4ROB 416, 8PPY 037, 4SAS 492, 8WIN 369, 5XLU 328. And by the way, it's currently 8:51 p.m. So I was standing at the intersection where the Ontario Town Square Townhomes is located. So I took pictures not only of the fake moon over that B&G Plaza, and that's based on where I'm standing. The entity moves the light source. The universe moves as I move. Remember. So that's why the fake moon is captured over me at the Fontana Metro train station, over the Fontana Lewis Library while I'm there. And this is at nightfall. Then the entity has the fake sun over me at those same properties over me in the same way as well. M437PO. 8MNH 393, 5XLU 328, 6777 5W1. And it's the same with the fake, and it's a fake moon because this is literally revealing what's a whole environment that's a fallacy, because it's possibly could not be the sun and moon that's rising and setting at the same literally location. Okay, I'm talking about down to the hotel room at Economy and fake moon over my head, over my hotel room, in perfect line with me. Fake sun during the day, same exact location. No, that's not the natural environment. That's entirely creepy, weird stalker conduct, personifying the demons that are surrounding you. 8KFC 269, 8CO 7935. Satan providing you with ongoing corroborating evidence of exactly what I documented that the entity is following me around with. The sound of what is ongoing loud banging has nothing to do with what is the 4th of July. By the way, these are demons. It's directed light. 6CAD 612. It's pursuant to the demonic behavioral pattern. 62717U2. 6YYL 778. 5SCZ 063. 8ZBL 939, criminal surveillance, molestation, monitoring with demons patrolling into the drive-thru of Andy's Burgers. 6UXB 172. 6YYH 748. 5ZOJ 846. It is 8:53 p.m. 5SCZ 063. 8UVK 916. 8FLH 488, coming to touch, sex offender. License BN 91R75, paper. And that sex offender touches me on my thighs, on my stomach, on my breasts with light, engaging that predatory conduct, tracking my steps, and coming around to touch with light. That is a sex offender, and I identify by license plate, but that's the people of the state. License 7FKD 749, the same. License 7ZDZ 684, 8TTG 211. Group stalking on the backseat of transit. This is a demon lurking in the dark, maintaining presence. Another demon coming to molest. This is a sex offender, license 81357E3. Looking for a logo, I don't see one. Just want to make sure. It's a Latino male driving a white pickup truck. License plate, this other sex offender following, 8ZBL939. And this is following me around. This is what these demons are doing, and they're touching all over me while they follow around. That's all you're doing in the cartoon environment of the demon possessed, by the way. That's all you're doing when you are documented engaging in stalking with directed light. And that's what you're doing when you also know you're being documented. So you're talking about very serious sexual conduct that they engage in, and I'm going to use that against the people of the state while these demons engage in the system. It's going to be used to create what is default policy, though. This is how you're going to deal with the demon possessed. You're understanding what they are. They are violent sex offenders. They are very delusional psychopaths, very much a threat to the public. 8XPW552. These are the entity. This is the entity that you see on the news engaging in what is egregious criminal conduct, but they've never had a criminal record, and it's inexplicable that they've engaged in. This is the type of people that engage in that. Psychopaths, and you don't even know what's wrong with them. Because no police officer, no demon-possessed one, no investigation, no mental health assessment, no court case is going to address the condition, the underlying condition, which is, again, a minion. All right, and these are those type of people. This is what this is criminal conduct. And that's where that stems from. That's why how you have that. It has nothing to do with actually having some sort of criminal record. That's not necessary to be a minion, a psychopath, and a sex offender, a freak stalker following somebody around that you don't even know all day and all night, touching them with directed light. Okay, that's weird stuff. Very, very weird. It is currently 8:56 p.m. Actually, those two sex offenders actually came into S.I.I.S Liquor, so they are on surveillance cameras at 8:56 p.m. You can see me, and I'm rolling in my property. They entered before me, the Latino male. They're on surveillance cameras inside and outside of the S.I.I.S Liquor. It's 8:57 p.m. right now. Alrighty, license 6VRN368, 8ZBL939, 7LGY297, molesting, 7GUM957, molesting, 5VVP461, molesting, CC25G62, paper plate. This is S.I.I.S Liquor, and it's 9:02 p.m. This is the people of the state that are surrounding at the parking lot, patrolling around me, pacing around. 7LLP200, touching with light. That's a sex offender surrounding you, lurking all around, pacing all around, psychopaths, pace, by the way, and stalking while they're pacing you. Very demented conduct and incessant touching with light. Very, very terrorizing conduct by a sick entity. That's the demon possessed, and this is the vicarious conduct on behalf of the state. It is currently 9:02 p.m. That's the impunity of a sex offender, and that is the ongoing evidence against that presented in federal court. That's speaking to how you're going to prosecute, revealing what makes directly relevant, the immediate attention brought to the mind state, the mental state of the entity that engages in that conduct. It is currently 9:03 p.m. This is P.O.C. Group stalking in a drive-thru. This is a sex offender, 8EUH251, touching all over me with directed light, stalking in the path to participate in that offense. 68QK358, 8FFA698, delusional psychopaths whose stalking conduct is fully revealed, and they know that, and they're still stalking and molesting. It is 9:03 p.m. The same for license 8EXD631. This entity engaging in criminal summoning as well, understand that. This is P.O.C. 8PQW705 and 8TMD145. 8TMD145. These are sex offenders at Andy's Burgers. 8VRR916, 5X50072, 6RJS794, 6PUG111, 6WTX102. Grupo Guadalupano, those minions in relevant position, they're part of the same ongoing sex offense. Monitoring while the entity is stalking with the sound of loud banging, just sounding in the atmosphere. The entity is keeping a fake moon over my head as I move. And the minions that I'm documenting engaging in molestation, they're doing it on behalf of these minions whose license plate I'm reciting. All right, this is the entity engaged in criminal summoning as I documented. It is 9:05 p.m. P.O.C. All right, what you're listening to is the Ontario Police Department flying over me by helicopter, flies right over my head. And I'm sitting at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. What I also captured pictures of, I'm being silent so you can hear the helicopter, and I'm also capturing pictures of the ongoing demonic environment. I'm being molested. This is a sex offense that the Ontario Police Department and the people of the state are engaging in. My shadow is in front and behind me. This is impossible light activity. It is also a demonic environment. Proof of the demon possession of the Ontario Police who are obsessively stalking, and doing so in helicopter again. It is 9:18 p.m. and I'm also showing you what is the fake moon directly over my head at the property of the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, and just maintaining that just like the entity does with the fake sun, and does so at nightfall. Objects in the sky that we would identify as the sun and the moon remaining over my head while the entity is stalking, while directed light remains. That is literally the demonic environment that an entity is stalking in. And this is demonic activity. This is Satan that is literally following me around with an environment, which is a total fallacy with regard to what we think it is and how it works. That's literally the pattern of conduct, though, and those are the pictures that I'm taking. It's 9:19 p.m. in the Ontario Police Department, flying over by helicopter, stalking. It is 9:19 at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. This is P.O.C. It's 9:30 p.m. Just captured video of the Ontario Police Department stalking again by helicopter, captured it on video. The entity is patrolling around 8 AWB 198, I believe. And another minion is crossing path with his cell phone out, stalking, walking by in relevant position. This is the overweight minion captured on video on Omnitrans. He's the loud, obnoxious foreigner who's engaging in group stalking at Shiro's Liquor on video in direct light. He is now crossing path at nightfall. I have his image captured and his likeness captured on more than one occasion. He's engaging in terrorism, KEU 609. He is group stalking at this time with the Ontario International Airport, who I captured in still images right now, flying over the museum in relevant position on the south side of my person in direct light, group stalking with the Ontario Police. That's terrorism while they're using commercial airline planes stalking me, the Ontario International Airport. It's also terrorism while they're stalking with the police. 8 NIR 345, federal prison. License plate 8RSC 300. This is federal prison. Not only are they group stalking while the police are flying over my head in helicopters, they're monitoring with this demon that's stalking me at the museum on foot. License 7JRR 181. This is terrorism that they're engaging. They're going to federal prison. I just want to get some more license plates. They're going to federal prison for what I just documented the entity engaging in with the Ontario Police. 7NDC 080. Federal prison. 7NCD 080, excuse me. And that's amplified audible activity while they're listening to me document. That's called impunity. You're going to federal prison. This is facilitating the Ontario Police, who are monitoring and stalking by helicopter right now. These are the demon-possessed that I continue to accumulate by identifying them, and they are going to federal prison. License 9BCE 711, license 7VES 173, 7NHU 154, 8YWV 535, 6ZVS 843. The Ontario Police Department is flying in circles right now with the people of the state who are pacing in direct light crossing path. License plate. And this is what they're doing at the Ovid Family Community Library while they're engaged in surveillance under the fake sun. All right, this is Ontario Police 1614356, vehicle 1047. License plate 6XXU002 with the Ontario Police in vehicle and in helicopter. It is currently 9:32 p.m. This is the entity that's engaging in criminal monitoring and surveillance together, and they're going to federal prison together. License plate. Molesting also while stalking with the Ontario Police, 7TTM 201. The Ontario Police are group stalking at the red light. They're loitering in relevant position. They're stalking me. That's why the helicopter's over. That's why I have multiple shadows. All right, understand the stoplight is also controlled by the states. They are stalking, sitting at the red light, and those psychopaths that are monitoring and group stalking, captured in hundreds of videos, are stalking right now, engaging in demonic conduct. That's why they're stalking, by the way, because they're demons. 7FMU 120, and so are the people of the state. And you go to federal prison when you're engaging in terrorism and surveillance with the police. 8ZDV 109, 5JZS 330, 8LOJ 038, 8FEL 308, 7ZAJ 221, license 8YIP 374, 6DUR 640, I believe 6RDF 03, 6RDF 4301, no 6, that's Texas. No 6 at the beginning. 9ATM 072, 8LQT 300. This is ongoing. Knowledge of the fact that you're going to federal prison. They know they're being documented. License plate 7JWJ 468. They are engaging in ongoing stalking and doing so with the police, who are threatening in your face, flying over your head by helicopter, when they also know they're being documented. The people of the state are engaging in demonic pacing, stalking with that entity that is present by helicopter, engaging in that conduct together. This is the psychopath that's going in a cage. License 23611J2, 8DEK 536, 8Z9357, I believe, 8XJZ769, that's an Asian male. It is 9:34 p.m. This is the entity that's monitoring with the Ontario Police while they're flying over my head. This is criminal surveillance. I'm identifying them because I'm naming some that are going to go to federal prison. 8VEJ 387, behind that video that I just captured in those pictures that I just captured. 7YGB 614. 8BHE 427. License 4XR8291.
3XBR131. That's audible activity creation. Demons continuing while they're being prosecuted. You're understanding why these are psychopaths that are a threat to the public. This is what is wrong with Satan, engaging in lawlessness. Satan does not know what's for its own good. License 8XFA056. Satan cannot, in that regard, they know what's right and wrong, but you're talking about Satan that is literally a psychopath, a threat to the public, not able to engage in what is for its own good. 98EJ015, 8TWB395. When you're going to sit down, we're going to FaceTime in federal prison and everybody with you, you're talking about you need to have, that's something where you would probably, 5RVP768, it would behoove you to take a seat. 8XNB626, Satan resists that. You're going to prosecute based on that resistance. 8RRM463, that defiance. That translates directly into what is an absolute disregard, which is the threat to the life of an American citizen that you're placing under an absolute disregard. Okay? A disdain, 7ACY175, for the rights of another, the constitutional rights, the human rights, the basic dignity of another. Those are animals. You restrain those people. All right? That's not normal. That's unhealthy for society. 7XXJ136. That's what I am capturing while I am getting a police department stalking me by helicopter obsessively, sexually molesting me as an entity while they are stalking together, engaging in absolutely demented pacing conduct all around me in what is the environment that they are continuously doing so. This is demonic activity. They are stalking because they are demon possessed, and I've shown you the environment, which is the direct evidence of their condition. License. 7WWU215. The demon possessed pose a direct threat to the public. All right, and that is not based on 4NEU759. That is the same exact threat, even in, let me be clear, because I'm in Southern California, right? 7DOE030. Let me be clear. This same threat, a very real threat, as you are witnessing my documentation, you're witnessing the criminal conduct. Any ordinary observer would be like, why, she's capturing video. Common sense, if it was me, because I could take myself out of it. I would be like, why would she's capturing video and if they know that, why would they keep, this is impunity, that's why. This is Satan, that's why. 7XSJ214. 8ZYS293, I believe. This is federal prison, every license plate that I utter, okay? 8ZVD721, 5SCP580. This is speaking to what is Southern California, because this is where I'm at. This is the pattern of conduct in the state of California, though. This is not just the demons that I've identified by license plate. The government's pattern of conduct. It's criminal monitoring. You're subject to surveillance everywhere that you go. And it's occurring through literally through the environment. Where they are remaining around you through the environment. And ordinarily, you don't even know what's underway. It's the work of Satan. It's demonic activity. But even more so, this very real threat that I am exposing, and you're witnessing it while I'm documenting it, this is existent in Northern California. It's existent in 7HPL235. License 7BFR184. 8YJZ342, 9ACC982. They'd rather go to federal prison and be documented than me continue this thought, and I'm going to do both. You're going to federal prison, and I'm going to make my conclusion. 7RQV282, that's Satan. That's sad. Satan will cut off his own head and still loses. License plate. 8MYY333. So I want to be clear, this threat, because I am not because it's not based on the fact that I'm not in Northern California bullying those demons that are in Northern California under a fake sun, monitoring American citizens, 6TFL568, terrorizing American citizens, all right? 8VWV907, this is the state's pattern of conduct, license 8TTJ157, and how do you know this? We can give a general synopsis because all of the entirety of the universe, the one sun that exists, it remains over me all day. That's to the exclusion of anybody in Northern California. All right, so you already know what's going on in the rest of the state because the one sun, the single sun, that gaseous ball of fire, it remains over me all day. I'm the center of the universe of the demon possessed as I remain subject to the system.
All right, so they are monitoring in Northern California. 7DNL751. They are demons. This is not based on some part of the region. This is the state's pattern of conduct. 8WYJ724. And in addition to that, what I'm stating is that the threat that I am exposing, that I'm prosecuting, while you want to pose it, I'm going to prosecute you for it. I'm going to create legislation to protect American citizens, 8VAX143, against it, while Satan is coming against the wrong one, but I'm actually the right one for purposes of binding Satan. Okay, Satan does not have authority, does not have permission to engage in it, and it is done. You're witnessing defiance, you're witnessing what is resistance, but it is nonetheless absolutely over. Okay, the entity's threat to society, to the public, is that which exists in other areas where you are ignorant of the fact that, well, you're not ignorant anymore, but this is the pattern of conduct that remains underway, 8MQF659, and this ticking time bomb is where you are. This threat exists right now where you are. 8EWK36098PJ878 6713382, and their sex offenders molesting me while they're stalking with the police. FGHTRR AX19W70 paper. Demon stalking with directed light. License 8HGF7. I can't really see the rest of them. 4XYN401 08703E3. Going to federal prison. License plate 8ZSC822 071. I can't see the rest of them. License plate BN36S79, molesting with directed light while they're crossing path and aware of the fact that they're being documented for purposes of going to federal prison. That's impunity. License plate 6RCG533. They're all repeating the same exact conduct. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct. And the Ontario police, who I captured on video, are stalking with these third parties who I am documenting by license plate. They know that they're being documented. They also know the every policy that I'm created to deal specifically with them and their condition. This is demon possession, which they are hostile to, but they're also engaging in what is the accumulation of federal charges, which I will use to place them in federal prison, and they won't get out. Okay, this is the direct evidence that I just captured. The pictures in the video. They are monitoring with the police department. That is automatic grounds of federal prison. Automatic. All right, that's how this system of terrorism is perpetuated. All right, you're going to deal with that directly. 7MYG722, 8DFZ752 molesting, 4H Hart NEY molesting, 7GRE736, I believe. And the Ontario police are flying over Euclid Avenue and Hull Boulevard. License plate, this one's going to federal prison. License 00848R2, P.O.C. It is currently 9:42 p.m. This entity is direct evidence of the entity that is monitoring. While you're looking at the Ontario police fly over my head, they are engaged in criminal monitoring, a sexual molestation of my body, while they are monitoring in violation of federal law as an entity engaging in gang conduct, group conduct on behalf of a government that is threatening my life while you see that helicopter. All right, threatening my life while the police are crossing paths, while I am referencing the fact that they're stalking, impunity, and engage in ongoing molestation, even more, still touching all over me with light, while you're still engaging in what is criminal monitoring. Existing federal law, 18 U.S.C. section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2, is already prescribing what is federal prison based on the fact pattern. All right, you're talking about that which is rising to the level of where it is essentially worthy of federal prison. It's based on the facts where the entity is engaging in group stalking, which is no conspiracy theory. I want to be clear, group stalking is relevant under existing federal law. Group stalking is a criminal monitoring system. It's state surveillance. It's federal stalking. And doing so by police, that's necessarily grounds under federal prison. You're engaging in that which is exceeding an intent to intimidate, harass, and harm. The entity has done all of that, by the way. But this is going even beyond that. This is the intent to terrorize. When you're stalking by the police, which is heavily documented, the police are stalking. The police are stalking in helicopters. The police are using their resources as police departments to engage in stalking and surveillance. That is intended to terrorize. That's grounds of federal prison right there, in and of itself. Doing so with the people of the state, is also designed to terrorize. And remember, their condition is also relevant. The demon possession, the demonic pattern of conduct is also relevant. It's designed to terrorize. This is grounds of federal prison. And that's under existing federal law. Okay, the legal analysis is fully capable of being articulated in a federal court, which under existing federal law prescribes that. But I'm speaking to what is even more specific. It needs to be contemplated and specifically addressed, that in the United States of America, the government is placing American citizens under surveillance. All right, and the entity is engaging in what is criminal activity and doing so via corrupt law enforcement agencies. And that needs to be known. And it is a fact. It is not, again, not an anomaly. It's not just in San Bernardino County in California. Obviously, I've been in Orange County, I've been in Los Angeles County. It's not just in SoCal. This is the state of California. And you also know that, again, because it's occurring, it's facilitated, it is characterized by what's supposed to be, it's a matter of public corruption, and it's that which is occurring in what would ordinarily be appearing as just everyday life. That's how Satan is engaging in it. It's everyday life. That's the sky. That's the sun. That's the moon. That's sunlight. Nobody knows you. You're at work. You're at home. You're at church. You're at ballet class. You're at piano lessons. All right. You're at Bible study. All right. Everything is normal. All right. You're subject to what is criminal monitoring, and you don't even know it. All right, so I want to be clear, this is massive corruption, and the same threat that I'm showing you while helicopters and police and all matter of ongoing demonic light, this scene out of hell that I'm capturing on a daily basis, this threat to the lives of American citizens is very real, even where it's remaining a hush-hush secret. It's a ticking time bomb. Okay, I am blowing the whistle on that which is an ongoing ticking time bomb. That very real threat to your life exists. While I am documenting it and I am exposing it. And Satan shows its face very aggressively when you speak the truth about it. Satan doesn't like that, okay? That's why you have helicopters flying over me every day, okay? But as you can see, I am like, and this is what I mean by that phrase that I meant, I'm the right one, because you can fly over me all day. Every time you fly over me, you're adding time to federal prison because that's where you're going, and those animals aren't getting out of it. Obviously, you're not getting out of it. It's captured on video. It is recorded. It's published on the worldwide internet. I mean, you know that you're not getting out of it. You are literally providing what is the evidence of the ongoing art, literally the argument that I will present in a federal court, which I don't even have to. It is such that the evidence speaks for itself. Psychopaths, Exhibit A, Exhibit Z. Okay, these are psychopaths and obsessed stalkers, and they are police departments. Police departments, and what is their issue? It's demonic. This is demonic activity, all right? And this is shown through what is that irreconcilable environment where no scientist can give any explanation for what I'm showing as a matter of documentation. That's not any sort of natural environment. Never is that, based on your alleged scientific facts, would that ever be the case. That's not the sun. Meaning that's not the natural environment, and that's also not sunlight. So this is what science is forced to address, demonic activity. That's what you're forced to address. You're forced to address it. Because we can all sit around and agree on scientific facts. It has nothing to do with what you believe, any grounds of religion. It has nothing to do with that at all. So anyway, it is currently 9:48 p.m. The people of the state, those who are specifically documented right now, they are part of the same exact entity. This is going on the criminal record of the entity, the people of the state who are going to be prosecuted as the entity that they are. I am also going to isolate, slice them down, and prosecute them with regard to identification of criminals. These are the people of the state that are engaging in what is a massive criminal operation in the state of California. Yes, but I specifically went and I want to identify those right now. While I'm subject to that, the entity flying over my head by helicopter, those that I specifically name right now, they're going to federal prison for that. They're monitoring, they're group stalking, they're terrorizing with the Ontario Police Department, literally flying over around in circles, pacing around at the museum in direct light. This is Satan that's engaging in ongoing stalking, while Satan knows that it's being documented, which again, Satan is engaging in what is Satan's engaging in that which is of its nature. Satan is sick, Satan is demented, Satan lacks self-control, Satan lacks prudence, because any other person, especially if they had any legal guidance, if you're expected what you should be, this is a legal process, and you will be sitting in federal court, and you will be facing all of this evidence, which you are in no way capable of addressing, and nor is there any way that you can make it legitimate with regard to what is you are nothing other than exactly what I've shown you to be, what you've done. I've captured it, and it's a matter of record. You're a psychopath, you're a stalker, you're a sex offender, and you're a demon-possessed one, engaging in what is public corruption by a government. All right, and this is speaking to the entity that's engaging in this conduct. Satan is engaging in that which is of its nature, but Satan is engaging in that which is criminal. So this is what Satan is unprepared for, woefully unprepared, while it's engaging in what it's, Satan is a sick entity, right? Satan is a sicko. So you're engaging in what you know to do. That's all that you can do. You're sick. But let me be clear. Oh, Satan will learn its lesson when it's locked up in federal prison. That's what you're going to have to do. The documentation is showing that. That's why I'm continuously documenting. Remember, they know they're being documented. They know exactly what it is that I'm saying. In the same way that they're obsessed stalkers following me around knowing what I'm saying, they also know I'm documenting. This isn't a stalker and a sex offender and a criminal that knows what they are doing is being recorded. They know this. That is directly relevant to the way and how intense that prosecution is, and necessarily so. Based on the entity that you're dealing with. You're not dealing with normal criminal conduct. This is what needs to be addressed under federal law. Okay, this is terrorism. Terrorism is directly addressed as it's demonic activity. All right, and so that is actually not good for this country, but it is good insofar as it's going to force the country to address how it's not so quote unquote Christian. I mean, what else, sir? I mean, I'm not even into labels, to be honest with you, but you're talking about the government. Now, this is something that can be rectified, okay? The federal government come in and rectify it, address it, show it to be something that is in no way demonstrative of how this government is and what it believes in, and that it's not an absolute hypocrite. But from what I've documented, from what I have viewed, from what I have seen, and from what I discern, this is rampant public corruption that has deep roots, and it is not, and based on the pattern of conduct, and based on what is demonic activity, and based on the character of the system. This is something. I mean, Satan's minions are not just at the state level. Okay. This is, again, the combination. What am I talking about now? When I'm combining what is demonic activity and the criminal system, because that's what this is. Satan's conduct, Satan's minions, in other words, in the position of the government, the demon possessed, are engaging in criminal activity. This is the criminalization of that demonic activity. All right, so that's what I'm referencing, and so you're talking about the light source that remains over me as I remain in Southern California. Okay, well, I look at the news. I see on social media. I see on YouTube, for example, people doing videos, and I'm looking at a fake sun over their head, and they're like in totally different states. And I'm looking at the light activity, and this is impossible. All right, and you can even compare the time. They're capturing a video at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, that would be 11 o'clock my time, and the fake sun's directly over my head at 11 o'clock. Okay? So this is impossible. This is impossible to coexist. So these are the things that I observed. And so, like I said, with regard to understanding the demonic environment that is, understanding that Satan exercises control over the environment. And there's a reason why we are lied to about the environment. These are implications, which is, again, suggesting to me that this has deep roots. The system has deep roots. In other words, Satan has a lot of minions, and it's not just at the state level. And I've also documented it. Those with the federal government driving around with G13 license plates, the federal government engaging in stalking me and monitoring, demonstrating demon possession. All right, this is public corruption that is not just at the state level, in other words. The entity is engaging in what is a pattern of conduct, and this needs to be a matter of federal law. And regardless of how far and wide that infection is, it is in no way something that should stop the ability, and it doesn't stop. It does not stop the ability, it shall not stifle the ability of any American citizen to enforce their constitutional rights, because the law exists. The ability to create laws that we have a right to not be subject to this sort of demented conduct by a government, and that's going to be the case. And that shall be the result. I'm letting you know now. This is why I am at this juncture. This is why this is happening, because it's serving for exposure, and it's serving to create what is a new landscape. And that new landscape is really just about revealing the truth. All right, and with revealing that truth, a lot of attitudes need to change, and I'm talking about in the courts. It is absolute nonsense to provide any sort of benefit of the doubt type treatment to law enforcement agencies. No. And I'm not saying you treat them all like criminals. No, you give them their constitutional, they get their day in court just like every other American citizen. Oh, but the days where you're talking about, oh, and it's absolutely nonsense anyway, because there is no demoralizing message sent across the country to our good, hardworking, warm-hearted, red-blooded, American patriotic law enforcement officers. When they're not breaking the law, then there is no demoralizing message sent, period. The reality is that public corruption is an issue in this country. It's an issue. I'm showing you that while I remain in the state of California. Yes, I am. While I'm showing you what's going on in California, I'm telling you what's going on in the rest of the country. And there are no grounds for within the court system to treat them in such a manner whereby there is some other sort of standard applied to them because of their position. And I actually find it to be the very opposite. It should be a stricter standard because of their position in order to deter corruption. Knowledge of the fact that there are real consequences if you abuse your position. That's what makes sense to me, but that's just me. But nonetheless, you have what is necessary to address directly under federal law, and that's the policy that I advocate. And it is specifically contemplating what is state surveillance by government, which is a very real deal. This is what my documentation reveals. This is what is revealed as I'm capturing video of what is a police department stalking me with helicopters. A police department, and understand this, I'm no ordinary target individual, because you're not just stalking me with helicopters, you're stalking an American citizen who was documenting you, engaging in a pattern of stalking me. That speaks to the level of corruption and impunity. All right, the absence of any basis to afford any law enforcement agency or officer some benefit of the doubt type treatment in a court of law. Because it is not some sort of vague ratio that you want to include in some court case about, oh, there's more statistics show. Statistics are very vague and they actually mean nothing, okay? I just want to be, with regard to, I study political science. You're talking about a bunch of numbers which you are able to fudge. It's as artistic as those claiming to be part of mental health. You can diagnose whatever you want. You can come up with statistics to defend whatever it is that you want. It doesn't mean anything. All right. And you're talking about what is that versus hardcore evidence of criminal conduct, of what is absolute disregard of the constitutional rights of another. That's what the Ontario Police Department, not the only police department, by the way, that's what these law enforcement agencies that I've documented are revealing about themselves. Because they're doing it to somebody, myself, who is documenting it, keeping record, and publishing it on the worldwide internet, which they are aware of. Okay, so you're talking about an intent to engage in that, and you're not above the law. This is revealing a mind state. This is probative of the mind state. You're going to hone in on the mind state of somebody, of an entity that engages in that, because you are not above the law. You shall go to federal prison. And everyone engaging in that criminal system with you, facilitating it with you, will go to federal prison. Ontario Police engage in criminal summoning. Every third party that I just documented, all right, engaging in impunity. And the Ontario Police, these demons are touching me with directed light while they're monitoring with that third party. And this is the conduct of that pathetic entity that also wants to be a distraction. They're going to federal prison. Every license plate that I just documented speaking to the impunity of that entity. And they're still monitoring right now. Engaging in what is a traffic stop is light activity creation, and the entity is aiming directed light on me while they are appearing to be focused on what is, again, a third party that molests me with directed light while I'm on the buses and walking outside. That's who the Ontario Police Department is pulling over. These are demons who are monitoring together. Engaging in criminal summoning, which is grounds of federal prison. While they are together listening to me speak on my podcast about the reality of the corruption that are the police department in totality. I mean, they are an absolutely disgusting, pus-infected agency that are overdue for removal from existence. And that's exactly why they're engaging in that, because they're fearful. And you are stalking one that you are fearful of. That's why you're stalking. That's literally why you're stalking. So anyway, it is currently 9:58 p.m. And so that is my bottom line with regard to the absence of any basis to provide law enforcement agencies in the courts within this country of any sort of treatment as though it's unlikely. That's the pattern of conduct is directly proving the opposite theory. It is not unlikely. It is not true that it is more likely than not that law enforcement agencies are not engaging in that which is improper or inappropriate or unlawful or corrupt, okay? I'm not stating that this is establishing, as a matter of fact, that all of them are either, okay? But I am stating that the pattern of conduct is establishing a very expansive issue in this country. It's not just in California. And all I'm doing is that the implications of that is that the landscape needs to change. And the treatment of these, the entities that you are looking at stalking by helicopter and then engaging in what is impunity, monitoring me while engaging in criminal monitoring with the people of the state. And that's what criminal summoning is about, which I'm going to document right now. The Ontario Police Department molesting me while I'm at the far end of the museum. And this demon is driving in a circle. And for a traffic stop, they've got 1, 2, they always engage in what is heavy presence because they're monitoring. And the demon that knows that I'm walking toward is driving in a circle. This is demonic pacing. And this is moments after the entity is flying over my head by helicopter. What do you think they're doing? They're stalking. And they're stalking with the people of the state. This is how you document an entity, because the police are stalkers and the people of the state are stalkers. All right, so this is currently 10 p.m. This is P.O.C. These are demons stalking with light activity. Vehicle 1043 and vehicle 1004. Okay, engaging, they're going to federal prison. The third party, their license plate, they're going to federal prison. License plate 8 UVE 8 UVE 351. 8 UVE 351, molesting me. Okay, with the demons that are the Ontario Police stalking me together. Ontario Police Vehicle 1043, license 1614299, molesting me. Vehicle 1004, license 1582423, molesting me. It is currently 10:01 p.m. This third party is going to federal prison, engaging in an arrest in directed light where the entity is stalking by helicopter. This is the same pattern of conduct. You might want to focus on him, not focus on me. Right? He's over here waving at me while he's got somebody allegedly under arrest, okay? But he's over here focused on me. This is the pattern of conduct. This is 10:01 p.m. and this is the police agency that has zero legitimacy when they're stalking day and night by helicopter. So you're understanding how they engage in this criminal system. All right, this third party and the police, they're going to federal prison, okay? It is 10:01 p.m. Pacing right back around and flying, concentrating where I'm at. All right, now, I'm not over there. I'm right over here. This is where they're flying right over me. And I took the pictures. They flew over my head in this direction. They make a turn and they fly in that direction. Now they're flying back over my head and flying in this direction. This is demonic pacing in the sky. And this is the directed light that I'm capturing images of. I've got shadows that are appearing in the shade of the bushels. It's upright on the bushels if the camera picks that up. I've got a shadow over here and I've got a shadow over here. Okay, just so you can see that. It's a tall shadow reaching all the way over here. This is impossible light. That's not occurring from a normal street lamps, okay? You would have one shadow. Just like you're supposedly seeing one shadow from the bushels. This is directed light. Those are demons of the Ontario Police. Those are criminals. I have documented many. They're going to federal prison. You're disbanded. The Ontario Police Department shall cease from existence. This is ongoing obsessive stalking, 9:26 p.m. And I'm going to document the people of the state because they're stalking and monitoring with them. I documented many of them as I went to the Ontario Mills today, as I went to Mathis Brothers. This criminal system is exactly what was in operation as I documented the demonic environment that follows me around, okay? Union Pacific is audible activity creation. You're going to prosecute companies engaging in facilitating state surveillance and terrorism. This is P.O.C. Understand the formula. Noise, that's what the train is. Engineered light. Engineered light. Presence. Stalking by helicopter is presence. This is the elements of monitoring. The elements of monitoring are also demonic activity. That's P.O.C. And companies are engaging in demonic conduct. It's going to be prosecuted as terrorism. They're monitoring, though. They're monitoring with communication devices in violation of federal law right now. Title 18, Section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2, crossing path. This is the people of the state. Impunity. Knows they're being documented. Stalking still. I will use that against them in federal court. This is P.O.C. It's currently 9:27 p.m. This is the pattern of conduct. Ongoing engineered light. Multiple shadows, okay? This is the work of Satan. This is demonic activity. And underway by the demon-possessed law enforcement agency, the Ontario Police Department. They're going to federal prison. P.O.C. There's a fake moon over my head. All right, I did capture substantial video and breaking down the environment and also reminding you of what is common sense. The entity is keeping the ongoing directed light. The fake moon is over me. And the entity is stalking with the same entity, the people of the state, in impossible light activity. All right. And I'm showing you, I do have multiple shadows, which is impossible light activity. A light a street lamp that's standing over you, that's over the ordinary light, that creates one shadow. These multiple shadows, this is indicative of what are demons who are engaging in traffic. This is Satan playing dress up. Okay, Satan playing a police officer while they're stalking you and stalking you with the people of the state. These same demons are the ones who I'm showing you in video, directed light all over the roof of the buses while they're stalking me all day long. Then you're going to pull over one of these demons like it's anything different. No, they're demons stalking with light, using the resources of a police department, their vehicles, while they're engaged in demonic activity. And this demon that's standing out here, I'm capturing, I zoomed in on her. She's an overweight Latina with her hair back in a bun. Her shadow is going in the opposite direction of my shadow. I have two shadows, one in front and in back. But I'm showing you while she's standing, her shadow is reaching behind her. My shadow is reaching in front. That's conflicting light activity. We are standing in, this is directed light. They are monitoring. These are demons. It is also a matter of common sense. The entity, the Ontario police, are stalking me on an ongoing basis using helicopters in concert with the demon-possessed people of the state. I read all of their license plates, the police and this third party, they're going to federal prison. But what you're understanding is, what do you think they're doing? They're stalking right now together. It's the same exact system. And you have what is a demonic activity that I'm revealing to you while I'm showing you what's the same exact system of group stalking. And this is, again, revealing what is the absence of any legitimacy. When you tend to engage in what is heavy-duty stalking using helicopters, it's more than likely, based on what is a pattern that is established, you are still stalking and you're engaged in that same exact pattern of conduct. And it is unreasonable to suggest that it is somehow abruptly stopped, especially as I captured it about 10 minutes ago. All right, so the entity is engaging in what is group stalking with the people of the state. These are demons using a flashlight. She's a demon stalking with light. This is the same Ontario Police Department that engaged in theft of property, engaged in criminal summoning on many, many occasions with this demon-possessed entity, engaged in kidnapping on multiple occasions, claiming fictitious warrants, referencing non-existent cases, fictitious prosecutions, and they are out here engaging in what is a traffic stop, which is providing for the use of their lights. These are demons stalking with light, engaging in what is loitering in relevant position. This is criminal surveillance. That's what criminal summoning is. And they're doing it via traffic stop. This is a very heavily documented pattern of conduct by the law enforcement agencies that engage in state surveillance. And they're doing it with the people of the state. So I'm going to document it because they're monitoring together while the Ontario Police is engaged in surveillance. It is currently 10:07 p.m. This is federal prison. 8 EWF 564. And an ongoing molestation. License 8HKS 452. 5 DEP 331. 6 FOT 258. And this is exactly what I was referencing with regard to what is that necessary federal legislation. But this is in a violation of existing federal law. They're going to federal prison. 8HCN 483. License 8XGG 212. This is ongoing terrorism, and this is how the entity engages in it with the demon-possessed, corrupt 98RR 637 law enforcement agencies. This is how they do it, and this is how they're monitoring together. And these are demons that are relying on the fact that you're ignorant as to their condition, because you're just looking at the opposite. Oh, he's getting pulled over, right? They're demons that are in directed light. 9 CEE 914. I've been thorough enough to show you what is stalking by the police. You know exactly what they're doing. They're stalking. 11117H3. And I've shown you the documentation of the people of the state that are stalking and that they're demons and they're stalking together. License 7UFP 648, 6YFL 287, 8ZOD 454. This is that ongoing criminal conspiracy. All right, and this is underway while these demons are crossing paths. 7MVG 563. The people of the state at Emporia Lofts, they're engaged in criminal summoning. They're monitoring. Metro 102 Apartments is monitoring. 7TCZ 376, meaning they're monitoring while the Ontario Police are literally engaging in criminal facilitation of monitoring in violation of federal law. 8EFS 368, 8XIW 175, 8TDR 407, and that's because they serve Satan. Satan is corrupt. All right, and that's exactly what's wrong with the Ontario Police Department. While I'm showing you the infection that they are to society. And these people are going to federal prison with them. License, I'm documenting ongoing criminal summoning. License 4HYD 922. License plate 8XKG 566. Eight CED 672, 7NLS 080, license 6JZH 795, 8ZGD 623, I believe. Yeah. 72295. I can't really see the you scratch it. 7GRA 404. Let's see. 7UTC 834. 6YJC 055, and this is the exact same criminal surveillance that they're engaging in, the people of the state, while the entity's flying in circles over me by helicopter. They're doing the same thing. License 5XOT 095, those old geezers that are monitoring and group stalking, engaging in demonic activity with the Ontario police. There is no respecter of ages. Those old geezers with live responsible sit in a federal prison. I kid you not. It is currently 10:10 p.m. This is criminal activity. You're not going to change the law or the application of the law because how old demons are, okay? And that's exactly what they are. And this is what Satan relies on. Oh, they can possibly be criminals. They don't know you, they're old. They're minions in the same exact environment, and they're monitoring. Presence is key. All right, license 5ATW 395, I believe. License 6VBV746, monitoring with this demon that's crossing paths on a bike with a flashing light, and they're monitoring with the Ontario police. This is impunity. So these license plates that I'm reciting, they're monitoring with these demons together that are pacing all around. These two police officers are going to federal prison. You can see them on my video. They're sex offenders reaching all the way across the museum. They're focused on me while they're monitoring with the people of the state who are pacing around in vehicles. This is while they're engaged in this criminal conduct, the prosecution of the people of the state is accomplished. They're monitoring together. License plate. Directed light all over while these demons are pacing around. AWGU340, CC79W48, paper, 9ACC831, 7U64900. 6G79079, 8DTG333, I believe. 7UVU067 with a child in the vehicle, directed light, molesting my body with directed light, engaging in terrorism with the police. That's a Latino male with a child in the vehicle, stalking me. 5GJE310, 6KRV641, 5KNY060. License 7VTJ 381. License 8YRF 693. 6RYT 522. ROB 3KKD from Metro 102 Apartments, engaging in what is criminal summoning again. Engaging in what is a sexual molestation. You're talking about what is engaging in what is monitoring with the Ontario police. This is documentation of what is the criminal conduct by the police and the engagement in criminal activity, enabling the people to engage in criminal conduct. That's also why they have no business in law enforcement and why they are sitting in federal prison for this. These two officers in particular, but this is going toward the Ontario Police Department that you're going to disband them. Obviously, you're seeing why. Entirely illegitimate. License. License plate 8UNX 576, 8BUZ 803, 8WYG 588, 8KUP 216, 8GOF 016, 8UPM 370. Union Pacific is group stalking with the Ontario Police, molesting, creating audible activity. 8XRT 348. Engaged in criminal summoning is what the company Union Pacific is engaged in. License 6Z 51744. They are aiding the law enforcement who are threatening your life, stalking you with helicopters and demon-possessed police officers, molesting your body, 36970E2, and using trains to engage in the criminal elements of monitoring, which is also terrorism. It's demonic activity. License 8JMN624, 7RYJ609. License plate 8BTR959. Seven RVV 834, 5XGZ 843, I believe, BARBJIM. And it is currently, by the way, 10:14 p.m. This is a sex offense that the Ontario Police Department are engaged in on an ongoing basis. While I'm documenting molestation on the Omnitrans bus, that's a sex offense by the Ontario Police. The people that said are group stalking with those demons who are using helicopters and police vehicles, literally using the resources that belong to the people, all right? There was no contract signed and I'm talking about the contract amongst the government, and I'm speaking about history right now, that provides the government with any consent to utilize those sort of resources where we are providing them the authority to govern over it. You need to understand how law works, how this system works, how this government system works. and they don't have any consent to engage in, they don't have any legal basis to engage in what is surveillance. That's what they're doing. And they're utilizing police vehicles and police departments and their resources that they're allotted money to engage. Do you know how much they're spending when they're stalking me day and night by helicopter? That's what you need to think about as well. You're talking about what is rampant expenditures for criminal activity, for criminal conduct. No legitimate purpose. None. They are focused on me while they're stalking with a third party. Those third parties, every single last one of them are demons, following me all day long under a fake sun, molesting me with directed light. All of that I just stated right now is a matter of objective evidence. You are shown to be the psychopath, group stalking minion, a delusional psychopath. That's relevant to your mental state. You need to be in a straitjacket while you're engaging in it. Who do you think you're fooling? You're not fooling it. You're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. You're surrounded with evidence. You're molesting me on the opposite side of the museum while you're listening to every word that I'm uttering about you. Okay, you're a hostile demon. This is Satan, who is engaging in the provision of more evidence while these stalkers, every aspect of the P.O.C. is documented. The people of the state are documented. They're demons that are stalking. The police departments are documented. They're demons that are stalking. And they're stalking together via a traffic stop. That's called criminal summoning. That's literally what they just did right now. All right, and as I'm reading license plates, every single last one, like I said, federal prison. And the federal government needs to understand that the creation of federal law in order to deal with that. This is the same Ontario Police Department engaging in what is criminal summonings, pulling over a third party that they're group stalking and monitoring with. The same conduct where a third party group stalker monitoring with the Ontario Police, stalking me day and night by helicopter, comes and physically attacks me. Who do they think they are? Who are they? They're not I mean, it's about themselves, because any objective observer, if you are clearly witnessing what is that criminal conduct, and all it's helping you understand is how this system operates, how these demons work. You're getting down to beyond the surface, because that's what Satan relies on. Satan relies on the way it looks on the outside. All right, but guess what? When that's not persuasive anymore, when you know what is the environment, when you know what is the pattern of conduct, you're looking at the environment, and then you're looking at these demons like, wow, that's really crazy what you're doing right now. You are focused on it. You're stalking somebody else, and you're doing it through what's supposed to appear as though you're doing your job. But at the same time, this same police department, you're talking about less than 15 minutes ago, following, pursuant to an ongoing pattern with helicopters. That's also what you're cognizant of. Who is it that you're fooling? Who is it that you're trying to fool? Okay, because it's going on video, it's going on the internet, and this is not for likes. This is going for a prosecution, okay? I'm going to put you in a straitjacket. I'm going to argue that you sit in federal prison, okay? And that's exactly what my evidence substantiates. It necessitates that, based on your position that you shall also be snatched out of and have nothing to do with ever, all right? And this is also going against that police department. Engaging in what is criminal conduct, blatant, clear, glaring criminal activity. The people of the state are shown to be exactly what they are, demon-possessed entities stalking, obsessively stalking, okay? Showing you what are these pacing, demon-possessed stalkers. Directed light, stalking with noise, stalking in bathrooms, ongoing obsessive conduct, impossible light activity, the directed. Guess what? Where that's an ongoing pattern, it's an impossible occurrence happening one time. It's happened thousands of times. And it's also been captured on video as it's happened thousands of times. They don't what they are doing is already established. You're stalking. Okay? You are operating on what is, you don't have anything. What are you doing? You're providing evidence. You're providing evidence of what is your unstable mental state. Okay? Your highly unstable mental state. You are revealing to the world that you engage in criminal monitoring while wearing a police uniform, while exercising authority under the law, and this is fictitious authority because you're engaged in criminal conduct. That is literally the artillery of public corruption, what I captured on video. That's how they do it. You're looking at the elements of monitoring. You're looking at the impossible environment, not the outward appearance of what you would assume to be people with entirely different interests, and that's understandable. I mean, what are you talking about? They're on the same team. He's getting pulled over. He's being subject to an arrest. I mean, why would they cooperate with that? They're demons. They're demons. They're engaged in demonic activity. They have an ongoing purpose against another. Okay? And you can substantiate it with a ticket. You can give that minion a court date. It's achieving what is criminal monitoring. In the same way that you're being documented and prosecuted where you work, where you live, and as your subject engaging in monitoring with the police. That's what criminal summoning is, and he's going to federal prison. So I made sure I documented that third party, because that's where he's going. He is the people of the state, and that is literally the people of the state are so intertwined with what is the Ontario Police Department. But like I said, you're talking about in federal court, they're going to try to do heaps and hurling, trying to get as far away from the Ontario Police Department as far as the facts are concerned. But this is the P.O.C. There's no way that you can get away with it. They're tethered together. This is that conspiracy to engage in surveillance together. They're demons engaging in the same demonic behavioral pattern in the same environment, and that environment is a scientific impossibility. They also engage in what is molesting me with directed light while they initiate this quote-unquote traffic stop. It's called criminal summoning. It's the grounds of federal prison. All right, and that's what I documented. This is what I want to point out, and I'm glad that they do so. It's, like I said, it's not a distraction. It's another iteration of stalking by helicopter. It's the same corrupt police department. The Ontario Police Department is filled with nothing but the demon-possessed. That is a very real condition. They are showing you what demonic activity, how it is a threat amongst the law enforcement agencies. That's what the Ontario Police Department is revealing. The demon-possessed have no business in law enforcement. They are a threat to the public. That's what the Ontario Police Department is revealing. The entirety of that department. There is no exception. Let me be clear, I captured Satan, that is the light source itself, directly over that police department. They are puppets of Satan, every single last one of them. Okay, that Satan owns every single last one of them. Let alone what is the pattern of conduct where you're engaging in this stalking. Understand the stalking conduct is demonic activity. In addition to the demonic activity while you're stalking me obsessively, I'm also showing your condition based on the demonic environment where you're stalking me. Okay, that this is demonic activity. All right, and so anyway, it's currently 10:21 p.m. And those license plates that I'm reciting while they're engaging in targeting me via criminal summoning, the people that say are going to federal prison for that. All right, it's currently 10:21 p.m. This is P.O.C. This is what I'm referencing on my podcast. This is criminal summoning. All right, and while they're engaging in this is in directed light. They're in directed light right now, and while they are driving up, this is called criminal summoning. This is light activity, and while I'm standing at the end where I usually am, where the Ontario police are stalking by helicopter, this is the same stalking conduct. These are the third parties that are stalking everywhere that I'm at, molesting while I'm on the bus. I'm showing you directed light, the same exact entity. This is the idiots. These are the idiots that are surrounded with evidence and engaging in the conduct, showing you how they engage in criminal monitoring. That's what this is. They have no legitimacy. Flying over my head moments ago by helicopter, all right, engaging what is molesting me while I'm at the corner way over there, which is impossible light activity. These police lights, in case you didn't know, just like you see now, do you see it overwhelming the museum wall? No, it's not. But all the way over there, they were touching me with light. These are demons. This is P.O.C. And he's leaning in his vehicle. He's monitoring. All right, license 1614299. This is license 8UVE 351. The people of the state engaged in criminal summoning with the Ontario police. They're going to federal prison, and he's going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:03 p.m. So let me show you this. Here, this is impossible light activity. And here's my shadow here. Very faint, multiple shadows. You're engaging in an arrest in directed light. You're engaging in using your police lights in directed light. That's a demon stalking with light activity. And they're molesting me with directed light while I'm at the distance at the museum. And they're engaging in what is stalking with the demon-possessed entity that is always following around everywhere, molesting with directed light, stalking with noise, while the entity is flying over my head by helicopter. This is P.O.C. I want you to make sure you see these demons. They're going to federal prison. The tactic of criminal summoning is very heavily used while the entity is monitoring you. His shadow is reaching all the way over here. These are demons. Alrighty, this is federal prison, and in addition, they're monitoring as well. This is facilitation. It's not just criminal monitoring. You're also, again, gaining federal charges for criminal summoning. License plate, because they're going to go to federal prison as well. They're monitoring with the police. 6YBP296. I want you to pay attention. Here's one shadow. Here's another shadow. Here's another shadow. These are demons. Those are demons. Okay, the Ontario police that's stalking by helicopter over and over and over again, this is another iteration of the same stalking conduct. And it is showing the issue of public corruption. And this is Satan that's looking another direction while they're stalking me. That's a psychopath. That's why they're going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. I want you to pay attention to something. You see how her shadow is reaching backwards? You see how my shadow is reaching forward? This is conflicting direction of light. This is a demon that's stalking me. She's going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:45 p.m. The Ontario police flying in circles in this direction, flying around me. This is demonic, and documenting the ongoing methods of state surveillance. This is impossible light activity. That's demonic. This is the elements of light activity, while Union Pacific is the audible activity. The people of the state are engaging in surveillance, many of whom are documented by license plate who are going to federal prison, monitoring with the Ontario Police stalking by helicopter, monitoring with the Ontario Police using the train, that's the company Union Pacific, monitoring with the Ontario Police while they are pacing in traffic. These are demons that are pacing. All right, this is occurring in what is engineered light, first of all, and this is also, that's light activity. That's on that window, that's impossible light activity. There's no traffic that's going to create that light activity. It's also not occurring from the train where Union Pacific is over here. It's the ongoing combining of the elements. This is demonic activity. Criminal monitoring is underway. And this is, again, 10:46 p.m. That's the P.O.C. This is going to be the prosecution of the people of the state using a company such as Union Pacific to engage in criminal monitoring, terrorism with the Ontario Police. Those are demons flying over me by helicopter. Those were demons engaging in what is criminal summoning. That's their system. That's their pattern. Engaging what is light activity. When you're seeing light flashing on the window, those were demons using police vehicles creating light activity. Another iteration of the same exact demonic system. This is P.O.C. This is documentation of what is terrorism. Impossible light activity. Not coming from any light on the property. Surely not shooting horizontally from the train. This is Satan. That's Satan. And I documented Satan engaging in a traffic stop that's called criminal summoning. They're going to federal prison, including the minion that they pulled over. That's the Ontario Police that's engaging in ongoing stalking by helicopter, just like I stated in that video. It is 10:47 p.m. P.O.C.